Aaron,
My bad, guys. I said Brett
boy,
Favre. I meant Aaron Rodgers.
Ask your boy about that little ayahuasca or whatever trip he went on in the cave for like 4 or 5 days.
Yep, I've heard about that.
Yeah.
You know what else I heard?
What?
It's 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. Yeah, let's get out of here. Let's see you later. Man, what an absolute monster.
What a day, bro.
Yeah,
Today's been a day,
Should we do that? Yeah, round of applause.
Yeah, absolutely.
Round of applause. We're not going to sing the rest of that song. Do you know that song, Sharif?
Which one?
By Waka Flocka.
Can you sing it so I can make sure I know it?
Round of applause.
Keep going.
No, we cannot do that.
I don't know it. I'm going to need to hear a little bit more.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure you would like to.
Joey, it was a sick day today, bro. I hope everybody cleaned up on AMIX. Big earnings after the freaking bell today, man. If you don't know, there's a company called AMD and SpaceX. Maybe you've heard of them.
Yeah, I'm not aware. I'm only a shareholder of 50% of the names that you just mentioned. So, Casey, I told you, you don't want to start a band with me.
Bro.
So, yeah, anyways.
You might end up getting the boxing gloves, too, man. Don't.
Ooh, oh.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to box this guy. We've seen what this guy's
I'm back in the gym next week.
You're back in the boxing gym?
Yes, sir.
That's cap.
I got to wear a hockey helmet.
Hold on. Where do you...
right there, just right at the corner of Bathurst and Adelaide,
So it's close by here, eh?
Yeah, you want me to
that's
drop
not going to work out.
I could drop the Addy if you want.
Yeah, man. How often are you going to do it?
I'll go 3 times a week.
2 times on the weekend?
Saturday, I'll most likely go.
Then, no, I might join you on that.
Yeah,
that might be the move,
a couple pros, a couple big name pros. My boy Sammy Vargas fought Connor Ben.
No way.
Got his butt whooped, but yeah, he did.
Yeah, but I mean, you take guts to
I
step
told
in
you,
that
he
ring,
dropped
man.
Amir Khan.
Your boy dropped Amir Khan?
Yeah.
Like, that's big, but a lot of people have dropped Amir Khan.
It's a stretch to call him my boy, but the guy, like, we've talked, like, I trained with him in the gym, you know what I mean? But, like, he's like the big name at our
He's a big name, yeah. Well, you get in the ring with Amir Khan, you got to be a big name.
Yeah, you got it, exactly. So, and with Connor as well, too.
And with Connor Ben, man.
Some big names.
Yep. All right, guys, been real. The big boys, look at this. Neil's short the entire market right now. All right. And the Katina man, well, he's punching long on SPCX. Katina man, we are up 8 2/3 on this monster. Make sure to catch the aftermarket show. Aftermarket show today or no? We'll find out. SpaceX, AMD, the big boys.
The boys will be here.
That way.
The boys are back in town.
Welcome back. Amir Khan, I've heard of that guy.
Yo, what's up?
What up, everybody? So look, SpaceX should have reported 4. So like that's
we think so.
Well, from when I talked to Derek, 4 to 405, based on the fact that they reported their, they've said that the call is expected to be potentially 4:30, right, Adara?
Yeah, if you go to my screen here, you can actually see it. Just so you guys know, I'm not making this up. This is from SpaceX website. Event details.
We believe you.
You're making it up.
August 4th, 2026, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. That's going to be the call. I've already added it to my calendar too. When I add it to my calendar, it shows that it starts at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, this appears to be real, guys, for SPCX. And again, Elon Musk already teasing the shorts heading into the report as well. So good luck.
Well, we're long. So, yeah, look, I was trying to go short here at 124. It actually worked out pretty good for a minute until it didn't, and we punched long now into that. I mean, I don't know. I was going to give this back to 124 again if it breaks. So just trying to play with it a little bit here is our good friend SpaceX. And, of course, wowee-woo-wee. There it goes, man, 164 and change for Palantir. And what a day this is having. I guess we now do have. I mean, remember, the record was right here, 30, and we said it gets to 164. You're going to have a record day there for Palantir, up 31%, but it's got to hold in order for that record to count. So, yeah, so far so good. Neil's going to handle some business.
Does it have to?
I think it does.
I guess, yeah, I guess so. It has to close, I guess, because that was a close. I didn't check.
I guess so. I mean, when someone says, like, the record day, it's not intraday. Like, I mean, because.
In fairness, when I looked it up, I'm pretty sure, I don't remember if it said like record close, but it doesn't matter. Palantir is having a day for the ages. There's no question about it. And you know what? There's some great updates to give them that kind of a day. And there are some great updates here out of Origenics as well. That's ticker OGN on the NYSE American. The company's activated its phase 2A clinical trial in Australia with its first site fully operational and patient dosing expected next. They're developing ONP-002, an intranasal treatment targeting concussion and mild traumatic brain injury, an area where there are currently no FDA-approved therapies. Alongside that, Origenics has spent the past year strengthening its balance sheet, raising capital, resolving liabilities, and restoring exchange compliance. The focus now shifts to execution, with clinical progress underway and additional CNS assets under evaluation. I want to shout out to Origenics for sponsoring this portion of the show. Concussions they're no joke. Not that there was any concern of one yesterday when the kids played, but there was one of the healthier foul tips I've ever seen at 9U, straight back, and it was like right into the chest, and our catcher, unfortunately turned right so that they're just unprotected.
Shoulder?
Like, yeah,
okay.
just,
Well,
I'm like,
shoulder.
but thankfully it was in the shoulder, because like the kid, like the next pitch, the kid hit an absolute tank. He was their best hitter on the other team. And when they catch one flush, you just don't want it to be, and like hit him in the throat.
Of course.
Chin. But we had the conversation about, hey, if you're wearing the gear, it's built to protect you if you're facing forward. Like the second you start turning away from it, man, like that gear is not gonna do much. So like Intel is trying to lose the $100 level. Intel up 10% today. 10. I know Palantir has been unbelievable. The ES 2 points, the Nasdaq 3.25, ARM, Marvell, like insert everything, insert any name out there. But the Intel equally impressive.
I'm going to insert Amazon.
Oh, we have to talk about Amazon. No, we'll talk about Amazon, because I think we might have missed something overnight as to why Amazon's like the weakest stock today. But no, Intel, remember, we already got the good story from them about where GPU has been building for them and the strong growth that they've had. So it should mean that it's a good number and a good print from AMD at 415, but there's no guarantees. Man, this wants to hold. What am I doing? I got greedy with the short when it was obvious that there were buyers at 9.5. I think I got greedy again. By the way, the long breakout, I took the long breakout, and then instantly I was actually adding on the way up, and then it immediately lost. I was like, no. I was reminded that there's an anchored VWAP on Intel from way back from the highs, sitting just underneath like 102. So it's like, should be looking to play for the short off of that anchored at the top. So I reversed out of a long, probably too early, and then it wicked 105. Got short, was like, ha, and then got greedy. Ended up down despite the fact that it went 50 cents as it broke out the highs. So we've just basically gotten back to flat with the last short, because we lost twice to win once on a scalp trade. I'm in Snapchat, and SOSMR we didn't really talk about. And I promise we're going to get to it.
We talked about it earlier today, but not much.
We did, but SMR is a standard. Like everything is up today, so if you're not up today, that's the other thing. But standard trend break on the 15-minute, broke the prior bar, giving it to about 960. We're short at 50, and looking for, I should probably put a bid at 40s. So that's just a trend break. But Amazon needs to be addressed. There was a story overnight about Bezos filing to sell some more shares. Whether or not that's the reason, or it was just the mags aren't strong because we're going chips right now. Either way, Amazon off a fantastic quarter, great AWS growth. I mean, you couldn't have asked for anything. Like Microsoft probably from a reaction perspective gets the nod, but Amazon still had a fantastic Q. And today, they're the dog, down 2%. I don't think anybody had that on their bingo card. Like if you had told me, if we sat down this morning and you said Nasdaq's up 3.25, right? ES, another all-time high and pressing higher, but Amazon's going to be down 2 points and relatively weak after the quarter that they had. No, did not see that one coming. So that's a bit of a shocker. If they sell this off, remember, like this pulls back too far. This could be a nice post-earnings bounce as well. If it loses 275, I think it'll be pretty nice to take 260s. Weird one, but hey, price is price. Price action's price action. It doesn't matter.
Exactly. You just kind of look at what's happening and you trade accordingly. I guess I can cancel my Nvidia 207. That's not going to fill.
You still had that out there.
Yeah, because I had it up in the morning and I didn't cancel it. So good thing it didn't fill when I was at the gym there, but it doesn't matter. Well,
that would have been
close.
good.
Well, that's if it would have filled, but that's impossible. Okay, so I'm just going to give SpaceX to 123. We've done we've made money, then we shorted it, we went long, we just went long again. We just stopped out at a break of the 50-period moving average. And I was like, you know what, let's just give this a little bit more room. The last time it came back in was 125.50 there. I mean, that would be, a complete break of the trend if we get all the way down into there. So I'm thinking about giving it just a little bit more room now. We have not even half a unit yet on this name, but I do want to see about giving it somewhere down into there, that 122.50 area or so. That's where the short sort of stopped when we took the short off of this sort of shelf development, and it broke the shelf, which was perfect. And then it came right into 124 right there, 122.40. So once we got out, we stopped out right there, which is fine. So that was a winning trade, stop out. Then we went long on a 125 break. That only went 40 cents. Bought it back, started going long again, and then right now just stopped out. So trying to think about where that next sort of reload spot may be here on SpaceX. And it's not, whatever. We know that Carp is cooking the shorts today, and I don't know if SpaceX is going to do that tonight or not. I mean, that's what Elon's saying. That's not part of going long. It's up 8% right now, and we've been holding this 50-period moving average, which is right where we're at right now. So if you go back to 1145, I mean, that's sort of when it was getting pretty choppy, and then we broke out, and since then, it's been pretty straight fire. The only time, and we took advantage of it, that it sort of stalled, and then we decided we waited, 5-6 minutes. Then we went short. We went short a couple of times off of that 124, and that was about $1 and change. That's $1.70 at the lowest right there right now. So we just got filled there at 123. So now we'll wait for a break of 122, right? So I wanted to see what happens at this area. We can put on a little bit more. I have half a unit right now. Our average price is 123.50. But you see, I've noticed that there's been some size. Now it's done 71 million shares, but there's been offers that have come through with decent size. So I don't know if the sell is now potentially on there for SpaceX. Maybe we topped out there. We talked about potentially nervous hands coming into here. I want to put an order out just in case it spikes down, because I want to get some 122.50s here. Some potential sell-off coming with it being up 7.5%, right? If you were buying down there at 108, 110, 111, 112, 115, insert price here, then, you're going to start to potentially say, hey, maybe we got to take something off of this name. But all right, that's SpaceX. I'm building the position. We're flat on it right now. We're going to go back to Adara.
Let's take a look here at USO. Not too much of a move, but just be aware here, guys. The Emir's office for the Emir of Qatar saying that Qatar and Trump have discussed efforts to reduce escalations and converge viewpoints between the U.S. and Iran. We'll have to wait and see if this works, if anything comes of it. But again, comments coming from Qatar about the Trump-Iran, U.S.-Iran situation and trying to converge viewpoints between these two countries whose viewpoints have not converged as of late. Back to you.
Thank you there, Adara. We had the super chat up, though. We'll just get to it. Pure ecstasy. What? Flut in a rut. That rhymes, and it's true.
That's funny.
So this is the one I was going to say, and I should have said this morning with regards to shorts for Palantir, is Alex Karp has the short sleeping with the fishes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why we didn't do that pun in the morning? Thanks, Adara, but that's the kind of pun that just should have been said in the morning. No, Flutter has...
Oh, you said it now, man. It's very late than...
But this stock is doing, what is this doing? Better late than never?
Better late than never.
Well, Flutter, better late, never is the actual, never is the effective word. I don't know how long the accumulation is going to be down here, but the good news is it's not falling any further. The bad news is it's not doing anything with this long consolidation. If this can break out, this would be spicy if it could break out 120. I'm sure Michael Burry would be pretty excited for it to do so. He can't be happy about those Palantir shorts today. So he's going to need Flutter and DraftKings to do something.
That's right.
Because it's so sideways. I don't know how big of a deal NFL coming around is going to be. It feels like that's the kind of thing that just ought to be priced in at this particular moment, But every year, every single year, you got to figure the betting there's only more and more action when it comes to NFL, and they keep trying to get more games in there as well. Just one note, I'm going to snap for the third time hopefully a charm. It's bounced to VWAP this time, but I still have half on at the volume weighted average price. And Yost is asking, what do you think about a short on Nvidia 214?
Sure, I can answer that question without even looking at the chart.
It's not even close to 214.
Oh, I was going to say no.
Yeah, but Nvidia,
What's it at?
211.5.
Oh.
So like I had a scalp on it earlier. It never really gave you the dip into 206, 207, the prior close. So you're probably just looking at this level from like late last month, right? Like 214 up here. That would be a nice area for like the if it fails it near the imbalances at the end of the day. The market is pretty strong. I'd rather try to pick on some names that aren't necessarily as much a part of this AI ramp job here today. The one Uber Micro. SpaceX have to be a miss, right?
Miss on what?
Top, bottom.
Is there expectations? That's what I mean. I'm just asking that rhetorically. I don't know if there is an expectation.
But we have estimates. They're expected to lose 26 cents a share on 6.7 billion.
So they could miss on all of those, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, here's one thing that would be crazy. If they could somehow turn a surprise profit, which they won't.
What?
Now, that would be the thing that really made, because the people, they're not going to.
$200 incoming.
No, but I'm saying it would break their quote breaks, fat fingers, like people freaking out. Like you'll just watch it.
Elon trying to warn people.
It's not. I don't think it's going to happen.
Trying to warn people.
No, I don't think it's going to happen. But that would be, I think, the thing. If they were to have a big miss on revenue, because at the point they're not making money, and it's going to have to be about the growth story. So I think making sure that you have growing revenue and to convince everybody on the call.
SpaceX is a cult stock.
Yeah.
Palantir is a cult stock. Palantir is up 35% today. If SpaceX goes up 35% tomorrow, it wouldn't actually even surprise me. It's just we're not expecting it, And I just want to say, like, even on Tesla on earnings, right? I mean, Tesla can't do that anymore because it's too mature of a company, But if some sort of news comes out on Tesla, people will run to their accounts to buy this stock up. If it was anything sort of positive. So I really do, get that going. I really do think that the same thing would probably happen with SpaceX. Like they're not going to be able to stop. Just like what happened with Palantir, you can't stop it. Once it gets going there. And we were lucky enough to get long at 150 break, and we did get out on that breakdown that never happened at 158.25, whatever that was. And we did that live. It was right when we left you at 11 o'clock is when it triggered, and then it was kind of just, that was a good out until about 12 o'clock, where Palantir took another leg higher, and now looks to maybe only be up 30% today. I just want to show you what I'm doing on SpaceX, because that was like basically new position right there. We are getting a little bit of cash today on SpaceX, and we've got to get something out now. It's just like this has been too many. That is loud. We do want to make sure, good, as long as Daryl likes it, then it's fine. We'll play some more. But right into it's a good wake up. Like you say hello. So right into there, 124.02. It's been bouncing off of here. So that's been my best out. And now you have the 25 period moving average definitely acting as some sort of a magnet. Like it was good into there. Once it broke, it was finished. But we're going to wait to see if SpaceX is maybe topping out. I still did have thoughts of 122 as being eventually the out if we come back in. We've definitely taken some off. Actually, I have only half left on this reload or this initial trade here of SpaceX. So we'll wait for it now and see if this can get back up to the upside. It should be very interesting as we, approach 4 o'clock. I mean, we think it's 4:05.
If it's the biggest, it's the biggest IPO ever, and now it's their first earnings. So we expect to see some fireworks.
Wow, AMD 9%.
One another.
Source close to the negotiating team says Iran is negotiating with only Oman on future Strait of Hormuz. So they're not negotiating at all with any of the Western.
Same old. Like U.S. says they are negotiating with the U.S. and Iran says they're not. And we're not negotiating with you. Yes, you are.
Gotcha.
I mean, ultimately, as long as USO stays on the lows, I think we can feel okay about it. There was a super chat from Birdman. This is what we're going to talk about next. Drone maker here, UMAC. How do you guys feel about it from a technical standpoint? You're in pretty heavy at the moment and would appreciate some insight. They've been tough this year, but UMAC has held up much better than some of the others, right? Like I'll just, where is it? Whatever. I don't need anybody can pull up a chart of AVAV or pull up some of the others. It's been a tough road to hoe, but UMAC actually has been, regardless of the pullback, because when it gets pulled back by 50% from the highs, that's never going to look good. But you know what? It never really broke the uptrend. It's putting in higher lows. It's holding the 200 period moving average. It's just reclaimed the 50 on a bit of a technical break at 23. Like technically, I still like AVAV, but I haven't got back into it yet. So this one has been better. Truth. It's got the up. We're not going to have Brian on, but you know what? If you're in something and it's in the money and it's holding major moving averages that are and not angled, sorry, trending to the upside still, like this is still upward sloping, as opposed to some of its cousins, brethren, I don't know, cohorts, whatever you want to call it, right? Like here's AVAV, like that's in a distinct downtrend. Like this is one where like it hasn't even made sense to jump back into it. Early in the year, like it was a huge breakout at the beginning of the year, like late last year, and then at the beginning of the year it was a monster breakout. It went like 50% in like a week, in effectively like 1 week at the beginning of the year, and has been a dog ever since. It's starting to pick up again. It just can't seem to do anything after it gets to 50. Yeah, UMAC looks good. We know drones. Okay, we know that's a point of focus right now to make sure that they get production and make sure that the U.S. has capacity, because it has been expensive, this conflict for them, and not just this one, but.
Similarly to AVAV, I'm not back into Big Bear AI. I haven't bought any more. I haven't done really anything at all with Big Bear AI. And it's up 11%. So just as we were saying before, good moves there up to 550. So this actually did have a rebound of sorts there, and we were talking about it. It came right back into the 200 period moving average. So, Big Bear AI has been a good buy off of this $3 level a couple times, right? It was back into here in March of 25. Then back up, nice moves higher there. 200 period, not really a factor other than it was holding it for a while. And even if we zoom back in again, or out again, sorry, you'll see this 200 period moving average is why we liked Big Bear AI initially. Once it broke right there at $6, it was an easy out if you had that. And then right there again, we talked about buying it, came right up there. And now you're starting to see Big Bear AI try to fade or get going off of the low is not 3. The low right there is about 250. But I think it was 263 or something I saw on eSignal. But this $3, this area has been a decent spot for it. But again, like just catching momentum, right? And it's really nice when it does that, but it is a slippery slope with Big Bear AI, still EPS negative on that name. SpaceX, just, we'll talk about different names, but we did get a 124 fill, and trying to let this go. I do have an offer. I just want to tell you guys, 124.25. Hopefully that will rip back up. Then after that, we're at 80s, 125, 124.80 right into this cluster where we had last seen a bunch of shares go off, and for myself, and then back upside. It really got excited here with the volume at 125. That could have been the indicator there that it was slowing down. With the decrease of volume into what we have right now. Actually, now I'm thinking about this. I'm going to punch a little bit more out there. We just offer 90s and you get hit immediately. So out a little bit more there at 90, and now we'll wait to see what that next sort of trade is. Halting around OBX, not really doing anything there. So that's a small one there. LBGT, LBGJ, they're not doing anything either. So we'll have to wait to see if there's something going on there, down 18%. Another like one of those halters. The one was AIMX, I think the middays.
AMIX.
AMIX, yeah, that was another one.
Autonomous.
Their Autonomix Medical was $6 or $7 when I saw these guys starting to look at it there earlier today, and then it just blasted off to the upside. I think this one's like a 90,000 share float or something ridiculous.
It was insanely small. It was something silly.
Yeah.
And that's been the case lately. I think when you're, I don't know, if you're screening for small cap gappers, give credit to the ones that have under $1 million in float if they're holding vehicle. Because when they break out, the float really just comes down to, it doesn't need a gigantic short float if somebody can just soak it up by buying a bunch of available shares.
950 float.
They leave them out. Yeah, it's super small. So once a couple of firms or a couple of whales get a hold of most of the shares, if they don't sell them, it's a de facto squeeze on anybody who's short.
It's done 100 times its float
insane
today.
And then the algos get a hold of it too. And then check to see if it's easy to borrow, because then day traders are getting stopped out more easily if they don't have to pay to borrow. We're going to go up to the wall right now as Adara is going to give us a look at something. It looks interesting. I like the look of that chart. Hopefully it's maybe not it looks like Lucid. And the chart's going up, so it can't be.
Yeah, it is Lucid, Neil. We're going to talk here to the window, to the wall, where I take a chart window and we look at it on the wall, this is about Lucid. Now, I know you guys are thinking, Adara, there's so many names reporting earnings tonight. SpaceX, AMD, heck, even Open Door. Why do you care about Lucid? I care about Lucid because I think this could be interesting, and I know we've seen a lot of volatility in this name as of late, so I think why not go over the technicals? You know, definitely the number one thing people care about when they talk about Lucid. No, but all jokes aside, here is a look alongside its global brand ambassador, Academy Award nominee Timothée Chalamet, of Lucid's production and deliveries per quarter, going all the way back to Q1 2023 and all the way up to date here to Q1 2026. We'll get some updates on this. Again, tomorrow I'll definitely update this infographic ahead of, or I guess after rather, tomorrow's report or tonight's report. But you've got here steady uptick in both production and deliveries. And then you've got a spike in Q4 production and deliveries here. Then Q1 2026, a sharp decline. So I believe we've already gotten production deliveries for Q2. I might actually update this ahead of tonight's earnings report, and then we'll see what we get tomorrow when it comes to revenue. But either way here for Lucid, Q1 2026 production deliveries, not a great look for the stock. We know that usually this name rallies on meme excitement more than actual technicals, but either way here, keep an eye on the technicals and the meme excitement at 4:05 p.m. when this company shares its latest earnings report. Now, if you guys are like, Adara, really weird you used your segment here to talk about Lucid, that's fair, I get it. But if you're looking for earnings preview content and any of the other many names that are reporting tonight or tomorrow before the bell, we're talking Uber, Unity, Shopify, Upstart, the aforementioned AMD, Open Door, and SpaceX. I have visuals on all of that in Exit TV research. Just because the window to the wall is about Lucid doesn't mean I don't have content and all these other things and more. And again, guys, I know I usually like to talk about non-earnings stuff here during the segment, but given how heavy the earnings season is, expect more earnings-related content here on this wall. However, that was today's segment of To the Window, To the Wall, and we're going to send you back over to the guys, Sean and Neil, for more trading action ahead of tonight's very busy earnings slate.
All week long busy. But the thing with Lucid is the number we care about most is 47. That's the percent short that I see listed. And then remember the bankruptcy rumor that probably trapped some people that should be out. I mean, anybody that was trapped on that breakdown under the bankruptcy rumor is probably out by now, but it's been upward trending since then. So whatever the fundamentals might be today, it's got squeeze potential tomorrow. It doesn't make a difference. 47% short. If it just starts breaking out, this is one I think you want to give a chance for the trade. The Birdman. I do the call, but I can't. Okay, one more. Wix. I'm playing the fib retracement. Hey, I don't use fib, but more power to you. Levels and concerned that this might not be the right move. Any thoughts? Am I being foolish? But it's hard to say. Like you're long and you're using Fibonacci retracement levels. The only thing that matters with an indicator is does it work for you? Like I don't use Fibonacci's. I think it was like years and years ago I tried them out on penny stocks, probably in like 2005, and whatever didn't work for me, I was like more support and resistance, read level 2 kind of guy. And to more power to you if it works out for taking profits and you find that it gives you good levels to work off of. I've heard Brian discuss them successfully from his standpoint. And some people like them, some people don't like them. Some people like RSI, some people say that it's no good. You just find people like Bollinger Bands. It really just comes down to is it an indicator that has any meaning for you. Some people like major moving averages and volume and leave it at that, or anchored VWAP. So don't let anybody tell you that one indicator is good or one is bad. Ultimately, does it work for your strategy? Like if you're in Wix and it's running, there's ultimately no bad way to take
There's
profit.
No indicator that works even really 50% of the time. It's about how you play off of it. Like if it was a
there's no such thing. It's how you use it and whether it works for you. That's the only thing that matters.
I would say get rid of all the indicators, really. Just play the momentum. I mean, there's lots of things you guys can do. Guys, how do you feel about Microsoft above? I mean, these are the only two. It's funny that we talk about this. These are the only two indicators I ever use on a daily chart, and that's why we've had many people on the show talking about that. We'll go first of all. SpaceX just popped through. We got 124.25s right there as it pops through. So that was a good one. We're getting a little more nervous on it right now. I only have 30% left. So yeah, look, someone in the chat, and I think it was yourself there, that had mentioned that Microsoft was so good because it's boring. And I agree, man. I mean, Microsoft basically put everybody to sleep, actually, is how boring it was when it was falling to the downside. And, there was talks about, you know, the software, Windows, and their sort of riff with OpenAI and, you know, Altman and just what was going on with Copilot and, you know, the implementation of ChatGPT into OpenAI and just different models coming out, Kimi and everything. And Microsoft, I agree, they just kept on doing their own thing, you know, and pumping Azure, telling everybody that Copilot was getting some more traction, and they were right. And all you had to do was, again, like, look, this is not a fib. There's nothing complicated on this chart whatsoever. This is just support and resistance. We've already been down here, man. This is the tariff tantrum low. So you got 350 again. You got it again. You got it again. All you had to do is wait for these levels. So if your question is going to be, what do we think about this breaking 500? Yeah, I think today it's going to, most likely break 500 if this market keeps on going. If not today, then why not tomorrow? And then all-time highs, yeah, incoming. I mean, I don't have any reason to believe that this will stop. I mean, people love that report for Microsoft, and maybe they love it a little too much. Now it's up 30% or so in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. This might be one of the most epic runs of Microsoft of all time, 30% in 5 days. That's a big stock with a big market cap that, if you're going to use your support and resistance idea again, or whatever idea, whoever idea it is, this was 500 was there. 500 was sort of a top back when we were trying to bounce, and then we lost it back there to the downside. So for me, it looks like you're going to try to break that $500 level. Go SpaceX. SpaceX right now back to almost the day's high, up to 125 again, and we've got this trade on. It's $1.50 now. But I like it. I was just going to say, like, if it comes back up here, why not just take something off? I can't remember if your question was 550 or whatever it was, but if you do get all the way back up, like I did on Palantir today, I got some out at 157.70. We talked about that, and just you don't want to look that gift horse in the mouth. And on that statement, I am going to make another. Ooh, we just tried to get 55s and we missed it right there. Let's see if it comes back up and gives it to us. But there it is. We'll take out a little bit there on SpaceX. Don't fall back in. There it is. We get it. So nice move there on SpaceX back to the upside to capture that $1.20. This has been here for a minute. International waterways, and no party controls it.
Really.
Somebody does control it. That's pretty obvious at this point. It routes out for the ability to pass through it all from Al Jazeera. So yeah, Al Jazeera is right. I mean, it's not supposed to be USA's business in there, but unfortunately,
there's international rules around this stuff, but it doesn't have to matter in a conflict.
No.
So the thing that's going to, I guess, we'll say it over and over again. The thing that's going to matter most for these headlines is, does something happen here? And if it doesn't, then we're not going to be terribly concerned about it. And there's been one big volume spike at 11:30, and that caused a little bit of actually not a huge one, but that was like the one reversion that it had. Like VWAP and trend down, USO and oil in general has been calming down in a big way, and just not much. There's not much to dissuade you from thinking it just stays with the trend unless we get something new and more serious again. So it doesn't. All the comments about they're not negotiating, markets brushing all that crap off. The oil markets are, at least. So when it comes to AMD tonight, oh boy, like 9%. This is before the report. 9% before the report. Through the 50, it's now. I'm gonna have to double check what the expected move was, but you are now less. Yeah. Well, I don't know if you know off the top.
It's around, I think, just above 8%, between 7 and 8%. It's going to be released soon, though. The infographic's done.
Because that puts it right. That 8%. That's okay. That sounds almost perfect. That's kind of what I was thinking. Because it puts it right to this resistance, like the lower high on the daily at 560. So I think that's a spot where we can kind of hone in on this afternoon. We're going to pull up a little bit later. It's only 2:30. So with that 560 level on the daily, that can be a nice little spot. You get a spike into there. If it can hold and then maybe break through in the call, number's going to be good. It's about the reaction at the end of the day. Easy peasy. Hey, didn't see you this morning. Good to see you again, Easy Peas. Get your 0.2% right there. Normal to trade the same stock for 1 month, plus or minus. There's no such thing as normal in trading. There's no one way to do it, and there's no such thing as normal. So for some traders it is, and for some traders it's not. But if you got a read on something, then stick with it. And if you like certain setups, like maybe if you trade small cap gappers, you probably are not trading the same stock every single day, right? But you might have a strategy on it.
For sure you're not.
You might, yeah. Well, I can't imagine how you could
Obi traded Amazon every day for 2 years until I told him, what the hell are you doing? And then he's starting to look somewhere else. And now he doesn't even look at Amazon anymore. So
almost nobody I know does. For a while you might do it. Like say you have a big IPO. Like it might be
like SpaceX.
It might be on volume and then good for multiple days. But then like HK Hynix was, I don't know, it was good for 2 or 3. SpaceX was better. Well, that's like SK Hynix went from great volume on the first day to then it gets the spread, and like it just wasn't as it didn't trade the same way as some of the larger cap names in terms of volume and spread. But it did for a couple of sessions, and so yeah, fine when it was doing that, no problems. But I remember during the meme craze, there was a time when every single day you came in and you were looking at GameStop and Funware and whatever the heck else was hot during those times, right? We were talking about Roaring Kitty just the other day. And then a month later, you're back to trading whatever normal stuff, earnings and big cap tech names. Like, am I ever looking at Snapchat if it's not reporting? Probably not. But it is. It got into the level I liked, so we take our 3 shots at it. I think this will be the last one. I have like a 2-cent stop on this. It just won't break VWAP. It won't bust through. The problem with Snapchat was this, in on the front end. Sometimes that's good, but if it doesn't work right away, don't reload. Don't reload. You get some out. There's no need to reload because it's still putting in higher lows. When it's putting in the lower highs, that's a bit of a different story, and that can make some more sense for Snapchat. But I wouldn't look at this thing outside of the days that it has news or has earnings. It'll be like that for Lucid. Lucid had news on the bankruptcy. We traded it for 4 or 5 days after that. And it'll probably be in play tomorrow with that 47% short float.
Yeah, well, up 12% today. Yeah, like Neil and I sit beside each other, same axis, everything. I've traded 2 names. Neil's traded 7 names, right? I mean, it's just about the opportunities that you wind up seeing. Yesterday, I think it was 3 or 4 names, and just keeps on going and going. But this AMI, by the way, this is still SpaceX, but we did get a 124.50. We might have talked about that. I don't know. AMIX hasn't halted in a minute, but I think this break, and just to give you guys a little bit of what I see when I see this, like I always am wondering about a return sort of to VWAP on some of these plays, and that would be quite the return if you did get it. I would just watch out for this. That's very bottom is like 1560. Let's call it 1550. It would halt if it makes a huge move down into that area, but this would be the area that I think I'm looking for to see if it wants to hold AIMX. And then if we're gonna, you can't just trade things for halt. I mean, we don't know if they're actually going to halt at any point here. But I was just gonna say like that break there of 1850 on the upside. So it's like 1550 there, 1850 there on AMIX now has done over 100 times its float there. So we sort of gone over that a little bit, and yeah, it's been a nasty one today for the shorts on AMIX, but congratulations, those of you that are not short. It's been a good one there. A name that has worked out today for the long, but it took a minute, was Caterpillar, right? I mean, Caterpillar got hit pretty good right off the open and then found a base at 865, 870 or so, and is trying to get back there to the upside, but running into a little bit of resistance at 890 here is Caterpillar. So watch out for that VWAP take there. That might be a short. If we can break through there, actionable trading at 894 for Caterpillar as a good possibility. Ooh, is this a halter that just happened with any volume? No.
RGTC?
Yeah, RGTC.
Yeah.
Maybe this is an IPO, or I don't know what this is. No trading at all. And then all of a sudden we see it like this. So it just showed up on our Halt scanner. RGCT. So
you know what?
I think just might be an IPO or something that just might have happened. But this is like
it's a Rigetti 2X.
Oh, that makes an RGTC. Wow.
Rigetti 2X daily ETF. So
why do they come up with these things? Like, how do they know if there's going to be volume or not? Like, this was $28, $27, $29, $30, and then meanwhile RGTI, I'm sure it's moving.
No, it is moving today, but
but it's like moving a lot, and that stock right there, RGTC, is doing nothing. Makes you think like there's
too many of these.
They're looking for that money.
That's the sell side.
I don't understand.
They're gonna pump out products because that's how they do. As long as they feel like there's any kind of demand for it, they'll just keep doing it. And we saw it 2 weeks. Was it 2 weeks ago?
I want to put this.
It was whenever Lucid had the bankruptcy news, and Yeah, July 14th from Adara. Thank you, Adara. And Lucid, I think it was like one of the 2x levered. That was it. Kaputs. It blew up. So, you basically, it got liquidated, and that was it. And that's the risk with all of these products. It gets one thing when it's on Tesla or, I don't know, like Nvidia, or just any name that has tons of liquidity and nothing's going to happen to. But like Lucid, I mean, come on. Like
that's good. We should look at Lucid because Adara did the
that one was begging for some nonsense to happen. 47% short float. It's done reverse splits. It did a reverse split and then went from $24 down to $5, and that's got like the levered. I mean, come on. Like it's going to be dangerous to say the least. I'm not saying Rigetti is Lucid, but it's more than capable of doing some Lucid-like things, that's for sure.
I want to say what's up to burgers and boxing. You got a good combo there. That's for sure. Eat the burgers, then box it all off, I think is a good idea. Will SpaceX do what Palantir did after earnings? I was just going to say, like, there's been some talk there, and I wanted to say, like, after you see what Palantir has done today,
no.
Will SpaceX do it? I mean, I have no idea.
Let's do a poll, but it's...
The implied move... Well, anybody that says yes is insane.
Of course.
But, I mean, at the end of the day, can it do it? Yes, it can. Nobody would have predicted. I thought this was possible. I mentioned it yesterday at 3:30, but even when I said it, I was like, well, for sure we'll look to get to the 200 period, which happened right away. We punched long. And I was like, well, the next one, and I got out, was up here. But the idea here about SpaceX is this could even be more of a cult stock than Palantir is. The man running this stock has the biggest name, in around Elon Musk. I mean, there's no more of a follow. People love this guy. It's this could easily go up tomorrow 25%. I don't even think it's out of the question at all that this name goes up 25%.
Surprise profit. If they do that, it's up that much.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, they don't even have to do that. This name, people just have to like it, and there'll be no stopping. No one will sit on the offer. So, we said this yesterday when this was at 110. We asked, what are the chances this thing can go? And today it's going. It's only up 9%. I mean, this name could be down 30% tomorrow, same kind of ways. But this is why options are crazy expensive, and you just want to watch and see what happens. These names are and I even said today, like, maybe we wouldn't trade this day of or anything like that. But the fact that it went so hard, like, I initially was thinking short. I'm a SpaceX shareholder, but I was initially thinking short right there, and then we shorted it again, and then now it's just like, man, feels like we just want to hold some of these lows here. We've made low, that's the low there, a higher low, and then a higher low as we continue to sort of march up. Now, we've gotten out a couple times there at 50s. We're going to take $1.20, when we get it, but it's a good trade so far. So we're getting light on this one, and I do think that SpaceX does have the ability. I mean, I don't have to think that. I mean, it's quite obvious it has the ability to moon tomorrow, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see a 150 tomorrow. I mean, I don't think that that's unheard of, and I don't think 110 is unheard of either. So SpaceX, man, join us tonight. As long as it comes before 4:15.
And remember the lockup too. Like, that's a couple days after. So
yeah.
Like, it's not like SpaceX is not done after tonight. Like, oh no, SpaceX has nothing left.
We traded every day since June.
No, I just mean in terms of like expected volatility. Yeah. It could easily be more volatile a couple of days later. I can't. Maybe Adara has it, but I wasn't able to find a source for the expected move on SpaceX.
I couldn't either.
Yeah. So.
And I did look.
I was curious because whatever. I was just kind of curious as to what we're expecting in terms of volatility from SpaceX, but ultimately it's fun. It doesn't necessarily matter all that much. The lockup is going to be a big deal. A bunch of tranches are going to be out, but I am going to throw it up. Let's go SpaceX tonight, and let's just say we'll just keep it simple. Over 10%. Anything else will be flat or just red, or just go red. 10%. So let's keep it pretty simple. SpaceX, you think it's double digits up?
Well, it would be over. Down 10%.
Yeah, I can say.
Why not just go plus 10, 0 to 10,
that's fine.
minus 10?
That's what we did last night. That's what we did for Palantir, and then it ended up being like all quartiles.
I just want to bet against what the majority of people say.
0 to 10%, and then we'll go
crowdsourcing, baby.
And then we'll go red, 0 to 10%, and then we'll crowdsource. So hopefully it's not 25, 25, 25, and then red 10% or more. And so we'll start the voting here. SpaceX tonight after the bell, everybody. You type a 1, you think it's going double digits to the upside. You type 2 if you think it's up, but not that much. 7% is pretty good, but it ain't double digits, baby. Red, 0 to 10%, type 3. And then if you think it is a disaster and double digits to the downside, not many things were today, then type 4 in the chat. Get your votes in here. So far, it is distinctly 41% think we are more than double digits to the upside. We'll see if that holds true. We'll give it into Power Hour and see if that holds true. Remember, Palantir's up a bajillion %, and that was, what, 22, not a single one of those answers had better than 27%. It was 22 to 27%. So basically, across the board, it was a nothing burger. A lot of uncertainty there. Here, the crowd seems to think we're going up a bunch.
Okay, that's good. So that's good. I mean, I just hope we go up a bunch right now, whatever happens at 405. So here it is, man, $1.70 now in on this one as I'm waiting at 125 clean. I mean, we could go a little bit ahead of that. I'm not sure it's going to matter. If they want to buy this thing, they will buy this thing up. And we just bought that one. There it is. Did we get the 125 there? No, not yet. We'll get it if it just has to print something up there. Don't tell me it's going to do this. This is life of a trader. I sit here and I stare at these levels. I'm like, maybe I should offer 95s now because we're not printing that 125. And then that happens. So there it is right there. So we did get that money once again, man. Now $1.80 in the money here on SpaceX. So, hey, man, I don't know if you don't even have to answer the poll if you're long with me. Right now, that money is in your account as we speak. So it's going to be a gamble. That is for sure. I do agree with you. One gold tooth Diz. I think that it's going to definitely be a shot in the dark to try to predict where SpaceX goes tomorrow. But if you use today as an example, and it's not like this chart has been in love with anything. This has been really just a couple days now upside. The last time we had that, the very next day, again, right? I mean, tomorrow's going to be a completely different beast, and then followed by August 6th when the lockup sort of starts. But right into there, we had a nice little 2-day run, and then it was just crushed. We haven't had 2 up days in SpaceX until today. So that's the other thing, right?
That's what we did.
Before 150. So we got it in June. We all of July, there was not 2 up days in a row. So all of July, not 2 up days in a row. So not unbelievable to think that, hey, maybe tomorrow comes rushing back in. And it was a good thing. I'm going to get out one more piece here. There we go. We get out at 80s, and we might have just failed at 125. We failed last time and made the move all the way back down. I'm still bidding 122.50s, but that's not going to come in. We're going to adjust our stops accordingly so far. There's Zeta Global. That's an advertising play. They've been pretty good. They are advertising, I believe. So Zeta Global, we can see. So again, it's going to be a software name. Whoopsies, did I just close it? No, I did not. So yeah, hit pretty good there. Trying to break out. This name gets a lot of social media attention. I don't really know why. It's trying to break out. I don't know. They're not Chinese, I don't believe. ZETA.
No, it's American.
Yeah, American.
They got a decent short flow. It's like
So I think it's
double digits.
I don't know enough about it, but I always do hear stuff about Zeta Global. So I don't know. Chart's looking good. I mean, I really love these. Oopsies, I'm still on this line. I really love these bounces, especially when you get it so nice like that. Bounce off the 200, then into new highs. I think that's great. So the advertising space we can look at is TTDD. The
same report this week.
There as well, so we can see how that. I mean, we know this hasn't been going well, but what's it been going like over the last couple of days? 17 to 18. So yeah, the trade desk has a lot of work to be done on that one as well. So yeah, Zeta Global, interesting name, and I'm glad you brought it up, but I just don't know really enough about it. So gold, everything gold.
I love
gold. Gold getting volatile right now. Seeing a big move soon. I mean, gold doesn't really provide you anything. Right?
GLD is actually, I don't know.
There's no dividends. There's
consolidating, really.
Staking fees or anything with gold. But here's GLD. We can call it up.
No, but it's actually contracting, isn't it? Like I look at the daily chart and I see this as like it's actually contracting into a wedge, which can be a good sign of a breakout in either direction, but you're getting both higher lows and lower highs in the last 2 weeks on GLD. So you're getting a little bit of both contracting into a potential break. I think gold and silver probably have their time at some point. especially with all of the. I mean, look, the U.S. dollar and this intervention is probably going to at some point, bleed its way through and get some volatility back into gold. But now it goes through fits and waves. Again, there's an example of we were trading and looking at SLV and GLD all the time, like months ago, and now they're just not doing as much. Range bound a little bit, and maybe you can break out of this range. It's just not, the volatility isn't there at all. I don't necessarily see it, but I'm sure there's scalp trades in there. You can maybe find GDX or some miners that are going to be good, so you just got to take it for what it's worth. But not much to be seeing over in gold and silver, but they will heat up again. When they start to go, very, very cyclical, right? Like when they're in a volatile wave, it can last and trend for quite some time. It's the same thing with natural gas, although mostly that's to the downside. That gas is always going down. That's rule number one. The U.S. pumps out so much natural gas.
Yeah, there's an abundance of that.
It's like there's a huge abundance of it. So basically, it's like everyone just sort of bets in the other direction. So while one goes down, no way, Intel. SMR just took out the prior bar highs. We shorted 5. It just broke here, not giving it to that HOD. Well, hang on to Snap, even though it's hanging on to VWAP. Like it's still bouncing off the volume weighted average price, but it's just trying to slide lower, and it's still trending into that downside. But thank goodness we got out of Intel. Like this stock has been insane today. It just tagged 101. 102, about 102 would be the anchored from the high, I believe, on Intel if it gets there, and it's got one more dollar. But I think patience is going to be the virtue. It has to do some kind of a top up there, or it doesn't matter. Like this was a clean topping tail, which is probably why I liked it so much. And then you had a little topping tail with like a hammer reversal and then a bit of a trend break at 100.5. I want to see something like that. But this stock, rocket ship, that has a long way to go. Long way to go. And will be a big sympathy play tonight with AMD. Keep that in mind. Like you don't want to see AMD disappoint. If AMD disappoints, it might bode poorly for Intel on sympathy.
This Autono mix here, AMIX, starting to get going, but I don't really love the fact that there's not a lot of volume right now, but you do just have a nice move from 16 up to 18, and I think the big level there is 1870 as we zoom in a little bit and try to have a quick look there. So I think this 1870 is something to look at, 1875, but there's not, again, like the volume's not really, this is the lowest it's been all day right now. Obviously the volume was pretty hype while we were starting to go earlier on in the midday there when Joe and Sharif were trading, both not here right now, but that one, good volume, and now it's like next to nothing. You're down to about little under, I guess it's about 10% of the volume there. So I'm not sure there's going to be too much going on, but I think that's a good break. 1875, put your bid there. Remember the spread is 25 cents sometimes. You can pick up to that, if not more. So watch out, especially if there's a halt. We'll try to watch it, but I think you want to take the next halt, right? And so the next halt probably has come with some volume. So, the push might be in. So if this halt's upside, you still have to, it's going to take $2 to halt, right? So you got to get up to 20. And then I think if that happens, then we do, reach out a little bit. This thing did split 1 to 21 for 21, the other way around, 1 to 21. So back in, when was this? In June 25th. So right there is when we had that split to get from $1, over $1. That was 40 cents up to whatever I said, 21s. So 40 to $8 right there. Boom, on AMIX, Autonomix. Moving around quite nicely. There's really not that much going on. I mean, we had Flutter. Someone asked us about Flutter. So DraftKings, a name that we like to trade a little bit on the show, but haven't really done it in a while. Charting always looks pretty good on DraftKings. Good highs, nice little match there for the low today. Stuck in the middle, DraftKings right now, relatively flat. Apple got going, by the way.
Eventually,
off of 300. Nice. So that was a really good one there. Apple, boom, nice move there. We wanted to buy some of this. I think we will probably pick some more up. Apple down here. I mean, you don't get it at the 50 period so often. That 200, I mean, that's a bonus. I guess the 50 actually has not been that great.
No, it's been the 2 for this.
So yeah, maybe Apple does have a little bit more work to do before it gets going. And then, my big trade today was Palantir. We took our maximum was $8, but a lot of outs in there, $3, $4, $5, just wasn't really expecting. And now we could be finally thinking about maybe coming back in. It does remind me of SpaceX right now, where it's choppy. SpaceX is up here near the highs, but pretty choppy into this area. We've already broken through the 25, and then the 50 is what we're talking about now. So I think we just got to wait for anything to happen on Palantir and see if this 160-150 winds up holding. It seems, the 50 and the 200 is not doing too much. You can look at prior bar breaks. If you really want to go pretty short term, that would be like a 163.50 or so. But I'm going to give it a little bit more time, see if we get back into 161. I could see some kind of profit taking happening at some point here on Palantir. I don't know when. Did I actually try to short Palantir? No, I didn't. Okay. I was wondering if I tried to short Palantir at one point today. That would have been a mistake. We are going to go back over to the desk. Let's do it. Okay. We're not going to go yet there, but we do have.
We have a super chat.
Okay. We can throw it up. We were going to go to SIA, but I guess we got to prepare for that. 125 still on SpaceX.
We got AXTI for the Birdman and AXTX. You've 2x in earnings to keep on the radar on these two. Well, and what's crazy about it is like a double up in 2 days, but that's the thing. A stock if it's off and it lost 75% from the highs, anything that's down that much going into earnings has a better chance to give you a double up. Just the math really maths when you have less room to go through for AXT. XTI I'm talking about specifically though. Just one thing is, no one ever went broke taking profit. This one's wild today. Let's just say there was some profit taking on AXTI. I didn't really see this, but that is a hammer in the morning, and then right there making the bottom at the open. This drew down, I think 25% from the pre-market highs. It's wild when that starts happening, but the bid did catch up a little bit. It's got a bit of a head and shoulders kind of thing going on. There. So yeah, sometimes when you get that's the definition of a gift horse in the mouth. Gift horse. Yeah, looking a gift horse in the mouth if you don't take anything off when it gives you that double up pre-market. I believe now.
Hold on a second. I want to show something here because. We got this really nice comment. We want to say thank you.
Good luck.
You probably can't. Can you?
Why is it so
it's hard to read it, but it just says. It's from one of our YouTube videos that Neil and I put out. It just said he's been having great, loves the whole team, has us on the background while trading. The breaking news has been amazing, so shout out to Adara on that one as well. His kids are off to college now, and he's moved to Key West, loving life, so bang on that one. But hearing us both talk about our dad stories and responsibilities brings me back to when I was coaching. So we've already talked about that a lot today already. Early mornings, late dinners, wow, late dinners, that's exactly. We pretty much don't eat any time before 8 o'clock, honestly. And whirlwind of insanity, but let me tell you, you're going to miss these days. I was even saying that we've now just got back, and thank you so much there. Unfortunately, I can't really make the name out.
I see Gonzo? It looks like I have it more clear. It's Gonzo with Shanzo.
Gonzo?
Here it is.
I don't think it has anything to do with me, but okay.
I don't know why it's easier. Mine's it's a little bit better.
It's probably because of the way I cut and pasted it.
Yeah, Gonzo.
Oh, Sean. Okay, good. S-E-A-N. Okay.
Shanzo.
Spelled obviously incorrectly, but yeah. I just wanted to say, shout out to you and thank you for your kind words. We do. Ramin does put a lot of work into those videos. So Neil and I just sit here and act like we know what we're talking about, but we do want to say thank you to that. And I think we both understand that, those times are precious, and that's why I literally do everything with the kids. I don't even spend any time on myself. That's why I try to go to the gym during the middle of the day, because I have no time whatsoever throughout the day. Like we have a game tonight. I get home, it's game time, and then we have a practice tomorrow, all weekend, and then let alone what happens with hockey. It's absolutely insane.
My whole mentality was you never know the last time you get to do something. So with the kids, it's like whatever that moment might be. What's the last time you get to play catch with them outside? It's just the answer.
That will be forever.
I hope so.
As long as you're able to do it.
Well, one of the things that ends up happening is once it's less and less once they're dealing with their friends.
Well, baseball you'll know because she'll probably stop playing at into teenagers. But hopefully you're still.
Oh, just like little things. Like she still loves to run, man. So hopefully we'll get her out on the track.
Yeah.
Did we go? We're supposed
no, we got to go. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, that's my bad.
Sia.
We're supposed to go back to Sia. Let's go to Sia at the desk.
No worries. That was very adorable talk over there. Let's take a look at the markets right now. You have the SPY that's up almost 2% on the day. The triple Qs are up closer at, like I predicted, over 3%, now inching closer to 3.5%. You have the Dow that is up close to 2%, IWM up again, close to 2%. Let's take a look at what's happening in the market right now. Very briefly though, Amazon currently still down 2.4% on the day and sliding after, as we speak, after a filing is sure that Jeff Bezos has sold about 15 million shares worth roughly $4.1 billion. So his sale, which is disclosed a planned sale under the Rule 1, that's 10b5-1 trading plan that had been adopted on November of 2025, is coming after earnings that Amazon posted, blowout earnings last week, which has set the valuation of Amazon above the $3 trillion mark here. But today does not look like the best day. Amazon's still down 2.5% now on the day. Finally, let's take a look at APTV, Aptiv PLC, that is tanked over 17% after management has said that the company will reduce its guidance for 2026. The midpoint for the revenue of this company now is $12.7 billion versus prior guide's midpoint of roughly $13 billion. APTV currently sliding further into its losses, 17.23% to be precise.
Thank you, Sia. And Nick, we did see it, but we had to get up to the desk with, as we mentioned there, with Sia. Thank you again. Nick Dubs, SoFi is breaking out. I agree. I tend to agree. I think SoFi gets a lot of, the way it reacts on earnings is just sort of, you have to live with the heartbeat of the stock. And it is one of those that it just seems to, regardless of what the earnings print is, the day of, you're just going to be disappointed about it, and you have to bide your time on SoFi. But it's got a nice consolidation. Like I've been in it for way too long on SoFi. But the only mistake I would say is maybe not getting enough out at the top. I loved the long consolidation I had before. And if you consider how long it was underneath $10 consolidating, like this consolidation is nothing. Like it's really only been a couple of quarters down here. 20 is the big breakout here on the weekly. That's what I wanted to quickly show. But on the daily chart, post earnings, 50-period break, it needs to get through $20. And that's where it's going to get a little bit of juice. I think it's got to move similar to what Hood did in it. Like Hood had its consolidation, broke out, went 80 to 120, and it's pulling back now. But I think SoFi's got a little something like that going for it. If we can break that 20, room to get into like 25, 26 at a minimum, and then go from there. But for me, it's more of a hold. Like I haven't added to my position in that. I actually, the money when I got the shares I got out of SoFi near the top, and there's always not enough, I put them into Robinhood because I wanted to own Robinhood for the first time at like 79. I might have done like 79 or 79.42 or something silly like that. That's where I decided to put it in, and it already made a move. I think SoFi can follow suit here. Strong quarter, good growth, and I was out with my buddy, and we were sort of ended up like chatting at a bar after the Jays game, and there were these two young guys, and somehow it came to, I don't know, whatever. The show came up, and they were talking very positively about SoFi is the best way to put it. They really both of them. One guy was American, the other guy was Canadian, but they both really like SoFi. Because sometimes it's iffy with our chat. So I was curious. I think they were in their early 20s, and both like SoFi. They also, one of them, the Canadian guy, also really liked Webull.
All right.
I haven't heard Webull in quite some time.
No,
I was like, really? I don't hear a lot of people say good things there, but still like SoFi.
It's 1, it's 2. It's a fruit salad trade on SpaceX as it just breaks out now. Now it's going through 126 now, up 10%, now $3 in on SPCX and just ripping now to the north side. And I just tweeted it out. It's like, what a difference a day makes there. We started off looking short on SpaceX, and then we actually came back, looking short again on SpaceX, and did hit that short and then got stopped out, went long, averaged it in. and there goes the pop, goes the weasel. Remember, our out on this trade, and if you've been watching here for even just today, when I put this trade on, the out was either going to be 122.50 or 122, and so right now you're sort of seeing pay dirt happening on that trade right now for SpaceX, and which was about $1 worth of a stop, just ran 3-to-1 there, upside down. So we just had 20% left. We got it another piece. So we're starting to get more and more out here on SpaceX, trying to let it run. What's up, just some dude in North Carolina? You like the fruit salad trade? Hey, okay. Yeah, happy to put it on, and maybe we can put on another fruit salad trade for you. The biggest fruit salad trade of them all today was Palantir. This one will be the one ring to rule them all. There today is this one, 150 long on Palantir, and this was a well-structured play. I mean, talk about that nice comment that we got from that video there. I think it was the same video that we were talking about breaking stuff out off the open, and that's exactly what we did with Palantir today. And that is that waited for this to happen. We actually indicated, even when that was happening, I told you we were taking the 150. So it was one that anybody could have taken with me, but right into there, that break, it held, and then it came back in, bounced VWAP, and then took off. So it was that little hold there that I like, and then there's the rip higher. And I think it's just a change of my whole mentality now, and that is try to wait and let something come through. And so we waited, and this time it wasn't really super early, it was 9:35, but there's your first 5-minute breakout, and I actually think that is what we were talking about on that video, was watch out for that first 5-minute break. And there it is right there on PLTR. So you can go check out all of those videos on our YouTube channel. And if you haven't done so yet, hit the, here, I'm going to refresh this and see where we're at. Hit the like and the subscribe. Well, probably about 5,000, maybe a little under that on the viewers. Oh, I like it. I didn't even like myself. 5,300 watching. 300? We had over 1,000 likes earlier on, and we're even getting better right now. So hit the like button right there. And as I said, your odds of you're having a winning trade are about 55%. I actually did the math. If you hit the like button there, the odds have greatly increased for your next trade to be a winner. So do that and let me know if your next trade's a winner or not. And we will add you to our study of that poll. But yeah, right now SpaceX $3 and going higher.
So a couple there. DJ Vinny, thanks for your super chat. There's no message, so can't really put it up like we can with Chain Reactor, who still strongly dislikes Rocket Labs. It's up today. It's getting a relief rally, Chain Reactor. You're in at 88. It's still a dumpster fire stock end of day update. The good news is it's getting a rally in sympathy to SpaceX. The bad news is if it's in sympathy with SpaceX, it's at the mercy of whatever happens tonight. And that's just going to be the reality. So it's probably just a coin flip how it goes from here. They're going to be considered a baby SpaceX, right? Like smaller payloads. This is going to be part of their game and the niche that they're carving out. They'll never be as big, but it is a large addressable market, and so a lot of the sentiment is going to go with the big boy, right? The leader is going to be SpaceX. Just be careful if you happen to be. If you're so scared about it and you really don't like it and you get a big bump on SpaceX, what's the worst thing? Take a little bit off. But the sentiment has been, since the SpaceX IPO, this has not broken downtrend. And even this bid in here, it's not much. It's not much at all. It's barely breaking out the highs. 7% today is not even that big of a deal when you look at some of the other names that have been beaten up. So I don't think it's broken out. I think you wait for the 50, the 200, some of the major moving average, but it's got to be, forget about the earnings. I actually think the lockup is going to be the big post date to get some kind of a trend confirmation with any of the space names, whether that's Sidu, whether that's Rocket Lab, ASTS, the UFO ETF, doesn't really matter. DJ Vinny says SPCH, which is the 2x levered for small accounts. This does very good volume for what it's worth, SPCH. 34 million shares on SPCH.
Not bad.
And that's
a third of SpaceX, but still nice.
But the Rigetti one literally doesn't even trade.
Yeah, that's the
one. There's ones that are tradable. They are not all alike. There are 2x levered individual stock ETFs that are completely useless from a trading standpoint because they just don't have enough liquidity. And this one absolutely does. So this can be a place to look. Just understand, of course, with these products, short-term trading, because decay will get you in the longer run. You don't want to be swinging too long in something like an SPCH or any of them. It doesn't really make a difference. If it's a 2 or 3x levered product, you can run into trouble if you try to hold on to it way, way too long.
We're not bearish, but we are big bearish AI, and up 11%, trying to get to 12%. You break through that 320. There's another move upside for big bear AI today. This is tomorrow. Someone just said, "What's tomorrow's trade?" I think Intel is going to be tomorrow's trade. I mean, I put Qualcomm, and I'm still a holder of Intel. We've sold some AMD to raise some cash, which I think has been a good idea. But at the end of the day, I think Intel does have quite a nice opportunity here with their packaging, with the foundry, with the fact that they're U.S., the fact that they've been hit so hard there, the fact that we know that a lot of these names got dumped off because of Ashenberg or whatever that hedge fund dude there was, and we don't know that that's now settled. So I don't think you're going to get an opportunity to buy this name too much lower. I think AMD is going to just go crazy and have an amazing quarter. So we'll see. And if that does happen, then they're going to say something about the PC game being strong. And when that word, is found out, then Intel goes hard to the upside, as does, I believe, anyways, Qualcomm could have themselves a day tomorrow as well. So we'll watch out to see if Qualcomm, although up 7% today, I like, but we have to see if they're going to have a better day tomorrow as well on what I believe to be a strong quarter incoming for AMD. AMD is not Nvidia. I don't think they'll sell this off on a strong quarter. Like, Nvidia can put up a great number and sell off. And the funny thing about Palantir is Alex Karp called the last quarter something unworldly as well. Like, that was the best quarter he's ever seen. And now this next one, and it went down, off of the last quarter. This quarter, of course, it's going to the upside. And the big difference.
Maybe the next one will be meteoric. I'm just joking. I'm thinking of other weird words that Alex can use.
Yeah. Well, he just used the word epic or something. But the idea when he used that last quarter is that we had already, I don't know if it must have been this August, so it would have been back here, probably right into here, maybe March, something like that for their quarter. But you'll have to wait to see, because it was the problem is it already bounced and it made some moves into the 200 period, and then they sold it off of that. Palantir started from a pretty low base yesterday, today, and boom, goes to Dynamite. Obviously, we did have a good recovery, but just 3 days ago, this thing was $122. So now you go from 122 to 163, caught a lot of traders off guard. So that's part of the thing with Palantir and why it's going that way, and why I think SpaceX right now is $3. And there it is again. You can have that fruit salad. Get that fruit salad in your life, man. And here it goes right now. Straight moon time now for SpaceX. I mean, will they announce they're going to the moon? I don't know, but this trade is up now $3, and there it is, 126.30's new high for SpaceX. And we bought it live with you guys. So 123, we averaged it in. It was a good little level there that we picked out, and boom goes a Dynamite now on SpaceX. 50 cents worth of risk or so. Let's call it $1 worth of risk to give you 3. I don't know if Alex Karp is the best CEO, TPS reports, but for my money, it's not far away. So what's up to Alex Karp? Thank you for believing in your company and going on, major networks and talking all about it.
If you go by returns, if you simply just go by returns and generating return, I mean, what Elon has done in terms of the number of companies he's had and the valuations from private and what he's been able to build them to. If that is a litmus test, he's hard to beat.
Yeah, you're going to have Karp, you're going to have Elon Musk, you're going to have every single major person that founded a company. You're going to put Zuckerberg in there. All these guys that are founder-led businesses.
It'll never, because that's the thing, it'll never be the ones that people, the power, the guys like Jamie Dimon, it'll never be that type.
Well, Jamie Dimon doesn't have returns like Palantir.
No, of course not.
It's 4 years.
It's impossible, because if you come in and head up the bank after, they bring you in to steer the ship because you're a general, for lack of a better word, you're an operator.
The thing is, as investors, all we have to do is believe in the company. I have no idea who Alex Karp is or what he does or anything like that. It's just I believe in the business. We've been watching Palantir for a minute, and it's been great. And we can go back. This hat is 4 years old. So it's we can go back to when it first direct listed, back at $9. I was in on that, went down to $7. We bought more on the way up. That's, and it's the same thing. You could look at Micron. You don't have to know anybody's name.
That's the thing. I barely even I bet you no one even knows the ARM CEO's name.
ARM?
Nobody knows it.
No, of course not.
Well, I know you know, Adara.
He has X and everything.
Well, I know you know. I was trying to make.
I mean,
Adara always knows the answer to that kind of a question, but ultimately, yeah, it ultimately doesn't really matter. Do you like the stock? Do you like the story? But there is a big difference. If you're talking about the most successful of all time, it's always simply going to be one of those foundational ones that was there from the beginning. Because from a return standpoint, you just can't compare to them. It doesn't matter how well they operate the company. There's nothing Jamie Dimon could ever do that would get JPM to return what any like Nvidia or Tesla or possibly SpaceX has done. It's physically impossible.
All right. Yeah, I'm not really sure where we were because all that guy was asking was just.
Is he the greatest CEO of all time?
Right.
That's where it was.
And I would say probably. I don't know. It's up to you, everyone's opinion, right? I mean, I don't know. Like I said, neither of us know any of these CEOs personally.
That's what I'm saying. You don't know, so the only way you can judge is on returns. I think it'd be tough to beat like an Elon.
Yeah. No, I think I think you're right about that one. So, all right, let's go back over the desk and talk to Sia.
The SPY currently up 2% on the day. Let's take a look at what's moving. Right off the bat, there is strength in electric tech. Probably the bull for today, I would say sector-wise, there's only two names. One name that just turned red that was flat right now. HII that's down 0.53%, and TDG that reported but related margin contracted from 52.8% to 54.4%, which is why the stock is trading a bit down. That resulted in acquisition dilution as well. So TDG is down close to 2% on the day. You have Nvidia, Apple, however, over Apple inching close to 2%, Nvidia close to 3%, AVGO up 7.5% almost on the day, MU, AMD, INTC, Cisco, SNDK, all the names that were strong from earlier in the day have still maintained that momentum, if not increased a little bit over here. Tech services, you have Google that's up almost 2% on the day, Microsoft up 2%, Meta has turned flat now, Oracle's up 4% on the day. Palantir climbing and on a climb, I would say, up 30.4% on the day. Oh my God. Netflix is flat at the moment. PANW up 4.4% on the day. IBM is up 3% and CRWD up 4% as well. You have Visa, that's BRKB, Visa, JPM, BAC, MSGS, all up on the day, but MasterCard lagging a little bit here. It's flat on the day, tilting a little bit towards the positive side. And finally, you have EXP that's up closing to 1%. Robinhood also up 3% on the day. Not a bad look here for HUD. But ARE, ticker ARE, down 5.7% today. Retail trade, you have Amazon down 2%, Costco inching closer to 1%, Walmart is flat, and Home Depot is up 2.6%, with TJX flat on the day as well. Just going to check another ticker here, TSCO, that's up 3% on the day. You have producer manufacturing, AMAT, CAT, LRCX. AMAT is up over 5.5%, close to 6% on the day. CAT up 7% almost. LRCX is up 7.3% as well. And I'm going to check another name in the sector, JBL, up 7.5% on the day. Consumer non-durables, you have KO still downside. PG is up close to 2%, but PM and PEP have turned flat on the day. Energy minerals, a bit of a mixed sentiment along with utilities, process industries, industrial, as well as commercial services over here. But you have in health services, UNH that's sliding a bit, 1.5%. CI down 3.3%. HUM is down 3.2% here in health services as well. Finally, let's end it with non-energy, FCX, NEM, NUE, all three names in the green. VMC, however, trading flat. All the other sector names in this sector are in the green. Sending it right back to you.
Thank you, Sia, for sure. I love that move on Lamb. Today, love their quarter, but I don't love the break-even wick out here. See what they do? Throw a stop at break-even on Snap. I'll zoom in so you can see a little bit better. Got in, had to stop. It was like a 1 cent stop, so call it 1.5, 2 with slippage, and then it got to VWAP, moved it to break-even, and look at them just wick it out. So probably jump back in. As long as it closes back underneath 5.7, I'll likely just jump right back in with another tight stop, as this one seems like it's just slowly rolling over as the market goes higher. And the market wants 4% today, by the way. You got to be kidding me. When was the last time we had 3.6% on the NASDAQ? Going in, and we're not done earnings, going into two major prints here. Not that SpaceX is that big.
Or AMD.
Yeah, I mean, like they're not necessarily the biggest names out there, and the float that because of the small float on SpaceX or available float, it's not that big of a weight in the Nasdaq, despite the fact that its market cap is gigantic, just the way everything was structured. It ends up being a relatively small weight. That'll down the line probably change, but it's still an impressive day. And remember, it's doing this without Amazon today. It's doing this with not the strongest day out of Meta. Either, though it rebounded a little bit. So it was a Mag 7 day more so yesterday than it was today. But the Nasdaq's doing absolutely fine because so many chip names are just blasting. Every time I look at you, Intel, it's close to that 102. When it gets to 102, it's almost like that's the next place we take a shot. Took a shot at 101. Took a shot at 100, Took a shot at 100 on the short. It got to 99.5. Probably should have taken more out. And then we took a shot at the 101 level when it came down. That bounced off 100. And when it gets to 102, it'll probably be close to the close. We'll have to watch out for the imbalances, I think. But it's starting to get there. And each time, it's just a matter of being patient. It's coming into some big levels here on Intel. Good rally from the bottom on Intel, but tonight it'll be a big one. But it could spike up any second. You never know. Like it moving 50, 60 cents. It hasn't been doing it that rapidly. It's more gliding up. But one good spike, and next thing you know, you're at that level. So that's the name I'm watching unless I get back into Snap, which I'm not even sure I will because it's holding VWAP 12. So I think this one's going to be the next one. It's crazy. Like it's basically been, for myself, like 3 shorts on it, 1, 4, 3 on Intel to be flat. And I'm going to take a fourth if we see that 102.
All right, we just got out some more SpaceX there on the move back in, so we now have 10% left. So it was a good ride while it lasted, that is for sure. Breaking back down below 125, I think we can get out a little bit more of this trade on SpaceX, so a 124.99 break. Let's get out a little bit more of this, and we'll get out of half of what we have left, hold that last 5% and see what winds up happening as we get into the close for SpaceX. So, well spotted there at the 25 period moving average. So an out rate there. So that was good. And now we'll wait to see what the downside brings us on SpaceX. And half of what we have left. So we'll get down to 5% or so as we break back down below 125. So a couple outs. That's a 126.25. That's a 126.50 or so. And now we're going to get out another one as we break below the 50 period moving average. So good little look over there as well. I have to. J&J is a name that I'm in. We've talked a little bit about that, of course, a couple times as well. Potentially another super chat. RXT Raytheon earnings, I guess, coming up.
That one's a Rackspace.
Yeah, Rackspace.
Yeah,
RTX. Raytheon there. So what do we think about?
We always default to the names that I shouldn't say are.
No, I think you're about.
Better, I was about to say are better, but that's.
I think you're right. We do always think about different names there as we go. But yeah, Raytheon.
Because Rackspace, I don't know much about.
No, I don't know much about Rackspace, but I think the thing is that, aren't they part of the whole build out here of the data center? So you are starting to see a nice move higher there. I think you're going to be a short float situation. Remember, Palantir, before today, I don't even know, Palantir had a small short float. What was it, 8%?
This one's pretty good, 23.
Yesterday. Yeah, short float on Palantir was only 4%. This has a 23% short float?
23% short float.
Okay, so Rackspace, I don't know what the expectation is for these guys, but
it doesn't really. They report next week, so on the 11th, it looks like we're waiting for their report.
Okay.
There's nothing yet. So you're getting them up on sympathy. I don't know, like what's Core? Like Corey was having a really good day today, so I guess that'd be a comp, but it's not a bad break. But going into its earnings print with the short float as is, I would suspect, like, if it's got that big of a short float, the good news would be you probably would have some firms that are thinking it's a dog or thinking it's inflated, or probably waiting for it to get into like this 7 level again. So maybe squeeze them out if it can go higher. It's obviously got this weird W pattern if it gets up to 7, but who cares about that kind of a thing? I think post earnings, look for like squeezes after post earnings, like a reason for the shorts to crap themselves, like they're doing on Palantir, because the fundamentals are like, now what? Like you can crap on it all you want, but if the fundamental story is fantastic or at least much improved, then you're good to go. But it's a little bit early on this. Didn't break the 50, not really above any local resistance yet here on Rackspace after a couple of good days. But it's close. It's close. I mean, it could literally break out that 50 period tomorrow, and that would look spicy. DJ Vinny says they had to deal with Palantir and AMD. Yeah, I know what you mean. But the thing is, the way I look at short breaks, like with Lucid tomorrow, if it doesn't bust the closest resistance, it's hard to squeeze, because shorts are like anything else. I don't care whether you're shorting as a day trader, right? Like, is it breaking out? If you're a day trader, let's just look at Intel for a second. Like, if you're a day trader looking at this stock here, can we come to the chart for a second, Andre? Like, if you're a day trader, again, looking at this stock, like, you might say, okay, high of the day breaks, I'm out. But if you're in a long term, like you're a bigger firm and you're holding for days, weeks, and months, if it's not breaking out like the next big resistance, then what do they care? Like, if they're short this sucker from the top, if it's not above like 108, 110, they're like, yeah, whatever. It's just trying to fill in this gap like that. They got a different time frame on it. So I think that's the thing you got to look at for Rackspace. Like, yes, it's a good rally, but they stalled 550. Like, it was a breakdown at 550. And anyone that shorted up here is like, yeah, but it's still under the 50 period and it hasn't broken out that 550, like that kind of a thing. And so I always want stocks breaking out above levels like that before it's a join. That's why I'm excited about Lucid tomorrow. It doesn't even matter what the report does. It's like, can it break out over 9? That's all I care about. Is it printing over 9 on a 15-minute chart? And if there's buyers above $9, then there's some shorts. Like, logically, that would be a level that some shorts are saying to themselves, oh, now we have to reconsider.
All right. Yeah, I think that, what I wanted to actually show you guys was, because that reminded me here of many different names that are going to be reporting, right? I mean, we just went over a few there. We actually have tomorrow, like, there's going to be lots. Today's obviously what we're talking about tonight, post-market, SpaceX and AMD, followed by maybe AMZN might be something there. Shout out to Josh Brown and Toast over there. Maybe if he keeps talking about it, eventually will go up. But Eli Lilly, Uber tomorrow morning in the pre-market, right? I mean, those are two big names I know a lot of you traders are probably holding in your account as well. Disney, right there. We can see if that can get off some of those bottoms.
Hasn't for 10 years.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not in love with that name either. But we could watch out for Disney down there, and then Shopify coming through. Circle, we talked about a little bit there with Circle and some of the thoughts with respect to the Clarity Act. Novo Nordisk has been in a bit of trouble there. So I mean, it's been nicely off the bottom, but we'll see if they can keep that going as we wait for some more trial talks and whatnot. But there's Eli Lilly there, and then even tomorrow, right? SanDisk. Like, there's so much coming in the next little while, including that SanDisk number. AppLovin, Western Digital, IonQ. I mean, get into some of those spaces there with Quantum, Elf. I don't talk about that with my family, but there's Elf right there. Dutch Bros. Yeah. Oh, I like it. Just how much money that we spend. Dutch Bros right there. That's a name that we talked about that with, it was with Mitch, because he was on and it was talking about Starbucks and how well those guys have performed. And I was like, well, you know what? I think if Starbucks is going to come up with something, maybe Dutch Bros might be one of the next names to get going. So Starbucks, no real reaction off of their earnings, and Dutch Bros not doing too much. And they were coming, Wednesday night? So that might be something there. Earnings on the pre-market there. ConocoPhillips coming on Thursday, so we can have a quick check on some of the oil names that may be, trading around Constellation. And then coming through, there's DraftKings. We said Michael Burry, of course, on that name there. There's Rigetti, so more quantum, and then D-Wave was in here somewhere as well. So
and then IonQ.
Yeah. We talked about IonQ was right there. Yeah. So, and then Roku, that's a huge moving name, Roku, as we get going there as well. So
don't sleep on Airbnb too.
Lots going on there. Airbnb. Yeah, and then I don't know, pre-market on Friday. We'll see. Wendy's can sometimes move. See if you have those chicken tendies.
Vistra's in the energy.
Yeah, Vistra's there.
Energy space there.
But yeah, Vistra's a good one. SpaceX has really, so we got out of half right there as it fell back in. So this is actually going to turn out to be a decent trade coming through again. So we'll have to wait to see what winds up happening. If it does give us that 123, I mean, maybe we can try that again. But now with only 20 minutes until imbalances, this is going to be coming up with something, right? I mean, the NASDAQ will have SpaceX on it. So that imbalance has really created, and just to show you, this kind of that's That's this morning. I want to see yesterday at the close. So right there at 350, right into here. You know, it was already on a run, but that move happened. I guess yesterday it didn't really flip around. There's been a couple days that we just had huge moves. Oh yeah, right into here. So there's SpaceX 108. Then the sell imbalance came, I guess 109, whooshed all the way down about $1.50 there into those sort of closes. So we'll have to wait to see what SpaceX does on imbalances. This is what they look like right now. Enbridge catching a little bit of a sell in the energy spot as well. So pipeline there, Enbridge to the downside. So all right, it's time for him. We're going to go back over the desk with One and Adara and talk about some Asian markets.
And lots of stuff happening in the American markets after the bell, but then a little bit later, we're going to get the open of these Asian markets. It looks like a pretty mixed session here, depending on which country's market you were looking at last night in Asia One.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Adara. Asian markets overnight trading mixed. We see South Korea, Shanghai, as well as Japan, pretty much in the green. Let's first take a look at the Kospi, up by about 1.62%. Rising AI tech stocks as well in the US, helping boost the sentiment in South Korea. We saw Samsung and SK Hynix marginally higher, and some of the big names that led the gains in the Kospi included Hanwha Aerospace, up by about more than 9%, as well as LG Energy Solutions, up by nearly 4%. If we move over to the Japan market, Nikkei 225 up by 0.32%. All the tech stocks rebounding, easing, of course, the recent AI-led sell-off. Some of the biggest gainers in Japan included Tokyo Electron, up by 3%, Kyokusei Holdings, up by 6%, and Fujikura, up by nearly 8%. So investors are also assessing that of the yen's sharp appreciation following that of the US-Japan joint support, remaining also alert to further intervention on that part. In Taiwan, however, not a good day, just marginally lower. They started the day well off with a nearly 500 plus point morning surge, but then their big name, TSMC, went down by about 2.11%. So encountering a little bit of stiff resistance on that 20-day moving average. But as we head to the open for the Asian markets, watch out for Taiwan's 20-day moving average barrier. Of course, you know, we need to see if Taiwan can claim or reclaim some momentum. TSMC, as I said earlier, were down more than 2% yesterday. So they need to establish a firm floor at the open, or else buyers may spark another breakout. If we look at India, the Nifty, they've been experimenting, or they've been looking at order imbalances recently. They've got a new closing auction system on the Nifty 50. So they need to reclaim that 24,700 level, which is vital, of course, to validate that of their multi-month consolidation breakout. And finally, yes, the yen USD dynamic right now, it's near at 157.60. So following, of course, that of recent US-Japan support, any sudden movements or any further intervention on that foreign exchange will directly impact that of Japanese export heavyweight. So keep an eye out on that.
Yeah, keep an eye here on these Asian markets. Keep an eye on this desk every day at 11:30 a.m. and 3:30 p.m. One goes over us here with the Euro market and the Asian markets respectively. So join us there. And yeah, we'll find out more what the session ended up being this time tomorrow. Back to you.
Thank you, guys. Not only does he drop the knowledge, but staying professional. You can't distract that man, Joey Options. You can if you tried. One is like a machine. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Joe's locked and loaded. SpaceX earnings coming up here, AMD as well. I might have missed the double top there in Intel. This is the candle that confirmed, right? Like right in here. So probably should have had the second candle and been in at like 190 to 95. But I end up in the follow candle when it does the wick and breaks the low. And then it does another wick and breaks again. So we end up with like the 80s. I think I got 80s and 78s. But it's already bouncing off 40, and we're gonna look for the 100 again. Like it's a big psychological level. So I feel like if we're getting close to the imbalances, hopefully it gets there before that. But if there's a big buyer at $100 on Intel, then it's a scalp into 100. As we're going back to Adara at the desk, we got more.
Yeah, we're not just getting close to the imbalances, Neil. We're getting close to SpaceX earnings. And SpaceX doing something that I always find a little bit dicey. Right before the report, they're making a pretty massive announcement. They're partnering up with Nvidia to design what they're calling the StarMind A11 satellite with compute payload. I guess this is the AI one. So again, the StarMind AI-1 satellite compute payload here. SpaceX plus Nvidia. Apparently, how this is going to work here is Nvidia will be contributing their Rubin chips, Rubin GPUs. So again, Nvidia, SpaceX, StarMind collaboration being announced just minutes at this point, less than an hour, very likely, before SpaceX will share their report. Back to you.
So thanks there. AMIX, a bunch of different halts there. At least we talked about what the trade was going to be there. Breaking right there on that next halt was like, hey, man, you want to be involved in that next halt. Unfortunately, didn't have it up. And that's exactly what it gave you, man, was a lot of love for that next halt. Because if you got anything there on this, I mean, this is what we were looking for, was the break right there. I said it was 1860. That looks about right. Rips up there. Looks like it halts around 1960 and then opens back up at 20, basically flat. Rips up there to 22, halts again. And now the tap on AMIX is $23. So, yeah, there it goes, man. Upside, upside, upside for AMIX right now and trying to break out. And, a name that was just split 21 to 1 down, or 1 to 21 down there, now ripping to the high side on Autonomics, AMIX. And, yeah, man, I mean, anybody that's long this one, giddy up. AMIX, good level there. And I think, might be one of the top stocks. I'm not sure on the midday. I know they were trading, and I'm sure they made a little bit of cash on that one. Now you're breaking above right there, $22 on AMIX, starting to go higher.
There's an interesting index action today.
Oh, okay.
So EA Sports deal is closing, so they're jumping out of the index. But FERG, which is Ferguson, so they're like a piping company. But they do infrastructure for data centers.
Oh, okay.
So they're like piping and whatever infrastructure solutions for data centers, and it's already a 6 million buy. But this is going into the S&P 500 as of tonight. And Hertz is being deleted tonight. EA is coming out of the S&P 500. FERG is going into the S&P 500. HTZ, that's Hertz, is coming out of the S&P 600, not the 500. Hertz ain't in the 500. So those are the big ones at the close, but that's a spicy one. Hey, you know what? You need lots of infrastructure in data centers, so it could be an interesting company to watch. It's about 15 minutes until we get the imbalances. Outside of that Ferguson, nothing too crazy. I mean, Halliburton's there, 1.5 sell. IonQ is a 1.1 million sell, but that's a bit of a nothing burger, I would say. And we have a super chat from Sexy Trades. What's happening to PLPC? Well, we got to look it up. You tell me. It hasn't done any volume. So on some kind of volume, it's done 75,000 shares of volume. So not much has punched long to be able to get it to go to the upside. But we can dig to see if there was news on this to get it from 0 volume to 75,000 volume. It's possible. But again, it's not that big of a mover. PLPC. I don't see a story on this thing at all today, and the volume is so incredibly tiny. When volume's that low, it doesn't take much to move it or call it. Look at the big volume spike on the stock. 80K shares on the day is a bit of a nothing burger, but I don't see a story there. But obviously, you can see it going up on volume for the last 15 minutes or so. But it could be it's social media, it could be something sympathy related. But again, I don't see the story.
Okay, I mean, we can go back to Adair if she has anything on it, but...
on what?
I don't know, whatever that symbol was.
It's PLPC. It's incredibly low volume, though.
PLT what?
PLPC.
PLPC, give me a second here. PLPC, is it performed line products?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yep.
Okay, so how much volume is this even done in the day here?
None.
Yeah, this is, wow. Okay, so this is under 100,000 shares. Let me see if there's any news here. Live Adara Investigations, guys, brought to you by Trader TV Live. I have nothing. They posted earnings after the bell on Wednesday. So this is earnings, what, day like 4 at this point? No news. Nothing resembling news, nothing resembling volume. Sorry.
Yeah, there you go. Sometimes there isn't. Just very quickly, you're not even getting to, it doesn't even get to the 100 yet. So I'm going to go back to the break-even stop on this bad boy. If it gets past the 80, Intel is just running into strength every single time it puts in a lower high. It did the same thing before, and it was this breakdown, and was at 100.5, and it went to 100, and this one at 101, and it goes to 100.5. It's like every 50 cents, it's just catching a bit of a bid and turns into a scalp trade. But that's what it is. AMIX, I just want a reminder for everybody. It is indicating a 23 open, and it's now past 5 minutes, which does mean it's going to be a 10. Obviously, if it's not 5 minutes, it'll be a 10-minute halt. And then at that point, if it halts again, you're likely not opening until 4 o'clock. If a stock is halted within the final 10 minutes of the trading day, the open doesn't regard the 5 or 10-minute standard halt times. It just opens at 4 o'clock. So do be aware of that scenario if you happen to be in it. Some brokers might have different rules with order types and stops and that kind of a thing if you're in the aftermarket, where there are no halts. So the moves can get very exciting when there's no halt bands for it to run into like this. But it should be 10 minutes. I mean, it should be open at like 43 or 44. So it's probably one more chance to trade it, and then it would go into that period where you have to wait till after 4 o'clock if it halted. Again, 23 tap, that's about $1 higher from here.
Yeah, good look there. You know, we did have a nice little rebound a little bit on Roblox. I mean, talk about a name that got hit pretty badly last Thursday on earnings. Was down, basically what Palantir's up, was down like 20% there on RBLX. Actually pulling, didn't even realize what was happening right now. It's a nice downside play there. We did battle back on SpaceX and got some 125s out on that one. But here's Roblox. Like, this is getting close to being a day 3 potential buy. You know, 1, 2, 3. We'll see if it can get back up there to the upside. RBLX right now. Did Better get something yesterday? Better Home and Financing. I mean, this is a play that tonight is Open Door, so this is another play. Isn't this one of those Eric Jackson names, BETR, that Better he was thinking about, like was going to be one of the next sort of things that he was going to try to pump? And you can kind of see when it happened, must have been in September right there, and we started to get going, and now it's just getting whacked right back down to pre-Eric Jackson pump levels, if I'm on the right name.
Why is it down so much if they don't report till Thursday?
Well, yeah, I think that's what the question was. What's up with Better? Like, I mean, Open Door today. Are they reporting tonight? Maybe Open Door. So yeah, they're up 5%. So I don't even know if there's been some sort of a ruling. Like, I don't know what's going on with BETR. We could again throw that back to Adara BETR. And we do have what is it? AMD's 405 or 415? It's boo. Okay, so 415. So we'll be staying with you guys till about 420.
Preliminary earnings for BETR were released yesterday after the bell. Revenue up 28% year over year. Prelim, it's not final yet. But yeah, BETR, and then now, of course, Open Door after the bell. ETA, 4:05 p.m. I can just go over all the ETAs if you guys want. Basically, they're almost all 4:05, except for AMZN and Booking, which are at 4 p.m. AMD, which is at 4:15 p.m. and SpaceX, which is at PM. They're very likely 4:05 because the earnings call is at 4:30.
Yeah, that's
Let's hope we get like 405 SpaceX and like 410 AMD.
Well, remember, Elon was
you said that last time something came out. What was it the other day?
It was Microsoft. Microsoft was 405. It came out at like 401.
No. There was it was Coinbase.
Another one? Oh, okay.
Where she's like, they're always 430. Then it came out like 405.
Elon bucked the trend with the IPO. That was the earliest opening major IPO of the year. It was before.
I think as soon as 4 o'clock
before lunchtime. He's not going to mess around.
Yeah, I think it's going to be 4 o'clock. So join us. We'll stay here.
AMD will probably have to wait for
late, and then we'll see. I think it's going to be 4 o'clock immediately for SpaceX. It would be a call that I would have right there. There's 125. I was just saying on SpaceX. It got up to there. I'm holding 4%. I'm just under 5% now left. So we're going to wait to see. That was coded as sell, but it's not a sell. The reason why it codes that, is because short sell, because I had some offers up here again that made it look like I was trying to go short. So we weren't.
I was wondering why it doesn't automatically change.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. We'll figure that out after. But yeah, here we go. Didn't we say Lucid was reporting as well? We had that graphic there today. So, Lucid was just a $2 stock not too long ago. And that was on, filing that potentially they were going to get take private or even, I don't know if it was Chapter 11.
It was
definitely some financing.
Potentially Chapter 11.
Down there. And then now you're starting to go back up to the upside into $8 again, $8.50, looking to take that out. So it could be a good expectation. I mean, if they can put out maybe better margins for some of their cars, they start losing. It's like Rivian losing 20 or 30 grand every car they make. That's not a great environment. Plus, when you have an expensive product, you do prefer to have lower rates. And right now, that's not the environment that we're living in. here. We're living in what's going to be soon. First of all, consistent rates right now, but higher to come. We've already had 2 potential rate hikes heading into December is what the expectation is. So, a stock like a Rivian, a Lucid, a Tesla, as far as the cars are concerned, definitely need lower rates. But, I don't know if they're in that much trouble. GM has had a big report and a big move higher. You know what? Actually, I still have some GM, but Ford had a nice move, and we actually were able to get out of Ford on, I didn't even realize that happened today, on this move right there on earnings. So that was actually a good one there. We were able to get out of some Ford on earnings. We were always waiting for it to moon completely, but that didn't happen there for symbol F. All right, we did not get anything out last time SpaceX went up here, so I'm going to do it right now and put an offer. Let's just go to 70s. Maybe we get it, maybe we don't. Well, maybe we'll get it right now. If it comes up, fills us in 70, fine. Then we can wait, because we are now 5 minutes. Maybe I should just go to 69er. We're now 5 minutes away from the imbalance. There it is. So 5 minutes away from the imbalances. So that was a good idea potentially to get a little bit out there, as we'll take that $1.60 and we'll wait to see what happens with SpaceX. That AIMX does open back up, but down. Not to something that you guys would like, as it goes the other.
I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
It opened higher.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. If you're able to get out there at 24, I think that was a good one. Now you're tapping 17. So now you're coming back all the way back into here. So greed is definitely not good, I think, when you're trading some of these names, but doesn't mean it's over with. We'll see where that tap eventually goes. Even if it does come out at 17, you're still at some nice levels where the bounce could be real. This could open up at 17, catch a bid. So now it's already back to 1750. So, in order to take part of that, you got to put out your order and say market on open, or put a limit bid or limit offer in this situation and grab whatever that opening price is. I don't know if it's going to be a good one or not, but for right now, AMIX is going lower, only up 400% today.
And the tap can tighten up as it gets closer to the open time. That's one thing to keep in mind. Like what it says immediately, some people will wait to put their orders in until it's closer to when the stock is expected to open, and then that $4 tapping down can end up being $3. Through the break-even stop on Intel, as we tighten it up, give it 3 minutes until the imbalances. But it's actually, it did it again. It bounced like 50 cents down and then breaks back to the upside. So Intel's determined on AMD earnings day to just run in. Maybe there's something after the imbalances at 350. This could have an imbalance. It's still nothing burgers. All the big names, like SpaceX is obviously NASDAQ and AMD is NASDAQ. So when you're looking at it, it's just that FERG, that's the name that's going into the S&P 500 tonight to buy, and that's more or less still it. SockSell is there now, a sell of $1.3 million for SockSell for what it's worth. Obviously, it has not been a bad day for SockSell, up 21%. So that could be worth keeping an eye on. We've seen some decent AMX numbers there. And when the chips are moving, you could do worse than to throw that one up on a side burner. So I'll probably throw the SockSell up there along with that Ferg stock, Ferguson. AMD, now they're just here in my ear. They're saying AMD, Pinterest. Yeah, Pinterest reports tonight. Yeah, see how many people care about Pinterest?
Oh,
nobody.
My family went to Dave & Buster's today. Let me see what's going on here on Dave & Buster's. Yeah, they went there. They grabbed some lunch. They grabbed some cards and played some video games. Dave & Buster's just reminding me because they went there this morning. Then it's hockey, and then it's baseball tonight. $10 low there for Dave & Buster's could break. No, they're not reporting anything like that, but just reminded me that they went there. So shout out to Dave & Buster's. Their play down 8% today. Yuck. Maybe they did report or something else. A name that I've been buying on dips. Today's a dip, but I don't know if it is one. J&J just back in right now. So a good little lookout there for J&J coming back into 250. We first started buying this in the 220. I think it was 224. And then we got a little bit more, broke higher, bought a little bit more into this area here. So basically where we are right now. Want to buy some more J&J for sure if it does come to the 50-period moving average. A good stock, a good dividend, and gets me away from all this tech. Like I'm having an absolute, I think most people that obviously own the S&P 500 or NASDAQ is having an absolute monster day. I mean, NASDAQ up 3, almost up 4, S&P up 2. Like that, this has been a great day to hold indexes, to hold basically most stocks. I mean, we've gone through the list here on even on the watch list. Okay, here we go. We'll just do this. We only have 1 minute. I was going to show you the rest of the stocks, but all right, on second Dave's, Dave's meh yikes trade of the day. Okay, got Palantir right, but there we go. But this is Coco Bananas VSAT calls. So December. So this December, I guess, right? The 18th. Is that what you're talking about there? 150. No, wait, December and August. So you have both of those. All right, 115 and 95. So you like. What is that? Vista? What is VSAT?
That's ViaSat.
Yeah, ViaSat. So I don't know. More online than ever. More online than ever. Super
chatted here in tons of
tilapia. I think the tilapia is getting to your head a little bit here, David.
We don't even have the tilapia anymore.
Yeah, well, we did, but I switched over to salmon. I think it was a couple weeks ago.
It's been a minute.
There was tilapia a couple weeks ago for sure. All right, but yeah, all right, so you like VSAT. So we can have a look at that stock in a minute for sure. But right now we are moments away from these imbalances, so we will get this updated and you'll begin to see something special hopefully in just a matter of moments as we'll switch over. We'll call up some SpaceX. SpaceX just tanked. I have 2% left. We just got, oh, wow. Okay, so it must be a sell coming for SpaceX out right now.
600,000 sell for SpaceX.
Yeah, so there you go. So someone gets the numbers a little bit early there. 600, nice move down right into VWAP, 121 there for SpaceX. I'm not even looking at it. We don't have basically any shares left. But there's Tesla was on there as well. There's Nvidia with a sell. So there we go there. Wow, I mean, getting out there on SpaceX was awesome. Like those two outs, okay, pretty good. So we'll watch out for that. There's Tesla. There's Apple. There's Tesla. We got to click on it. Apple with a sell, although going a little bit higher. Tesla pulling back on that sell as well. And there's the overall market. Doesn't seem that heavy, but maybe it is. I guess because Nvidia, I don't know. Oh, you know why? Because EA Sports is a big sell. That's $23 million to sell to the downside. So there it goes.
Just a big deal close.
All the way down there. So nice move there for EA on the sell side. $23 million to sell on EA.
And that FERG came out smaller than expected. That's the one going into the S&P 500 when EA Sports comes out. So that's disappointing. And Hertz, by the way. Oh, Hertz $1.50? Oh, yuck. Yeah, Hertz being deleted from the S&P 600. So that didn't even move. But yeah, the imbalances, it's really going to be about SpaceX. So let's just go back. It's SpaceX, it's AMD. If you really do care, it's Pinterest tonight. We don't care about it at all. Yeah, so SpaceX goes all the way down into the volume-weighted average price on that bad boy.
All right, yeah, good job. Yeah, we were looking at SpaceX a little bit before.
Big bounce, though.
As well.
But it grew. The sell imbalance grew on SpaceX, and it still bounced $2. That's pretty bullish. So it went 600,000 sell to 700,000 sell and bounced $2, which is wild.
I'm just going back and forth here with all this volume on EA Sports. Just scalped it a little bit back and forth right now. So we'll see where this wants to go. Short, small here at 80. Probably just cover at 81. Like I've just been going back and there you go, covered at 81. Just going back and forth with a couple scalps here on EA. Just trying to make, like, if we can make a penny, you get rebates in and out. You figure it out there on EA. So we'll see. There we go. So we get a little fill there. We'll put a bid out and we'll see if we can get filled now on the bid. Noticing that bats, we don't necessarily want to go long, but we'll put an offer out now at 180. We got overfilled, so there it is. Just back and forth a little bit here as we scalp in and out and take advantage of some of the rebate structures and whatnot that we do have here there it is at Real Trading. So just back and forth a little bit here on EA and just watching out for that. SpaceX though, now whatever. We could just put something out. I mean, it's probably going to rip up once that sell imbalance is gone. So we'll go up to 124 and figure out that one right now. We'll go back over here and do that and do this. There's EA. We can wait to see if anything else is going to hit. Oh, Intel down into $100 again. So that could be something that we're looking out for there on Intel. So $100, a good little looking level there. So we'll see if there is a print coming on Intel. But yeah, so far so good. We'll just keep on watching for our P's and Q's here as the market moving around. I've just been getting in and out of EA, as we said there, and then watching out for SpaceX. So I do have SPCX on the watch. Get ready for earnings, man. It's going to be obviously a big one, and we'll just continue to trade out in and out of in and out of EA Sports and watching out what's going on there. See just a couple ins and outs, just making a penny back and forth there on EA Sports. And then BBAI, for some reason, has got a nice buy there, up 10% right there. So yeah, nice day there for BBAI and a nice day for the market in general. SpaceX, I'm offering 124. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, 1 minute to go until potentially some of these imbalances will pair off a little bit. EA is staying over 20 million shares. Ferg is staying 3 million to the buy side. Hertz is staying at 2 million sell. The most likely, I guess, to pair off will be Nvidia because it almost always does. 1.9 million sell on Nvidia. So in the next minute or so, I think you can expect a little something on that bad boy. There wasn't a big imbalance on Intel. I ended up being wrong about that. I suspected there might be because most days it's over 1 million shares on Intel. It didn't do anything going into this AMD print. It is the sympathy name, I think. Obviously, Nvidia kind of is for AMD, but I think Intel might be the bigger sympathy play for AMD because Nvidia is Nvidia. They're just too big. Nvidia doesn't care what anybody else does. They care what they do, whereas Intel does care because AMD's they've been the bigger rocket ship, and the CPU print's gonna be big for them. Maybe Hertz was potentially a dump. EA, as much as anybody's going to be excited by 20 million to the sell side, you have to sort of remember, anybody that owns shares gets 210 at the end of the day, so it might bounce. It's going to bounce off. It likely bounces off of these lows a little bit going into the print. It's not always so simple as it's a massive imbalance. It's going to print out because there is some hedge that might bring it back in to set upside. So SpaceX. We'll see about that, but Nvidia did pair its imbalance off. Shocker. It pretty much always does. SpaceX is still 600,000 to the sell side.
There it is, man. We get that, though. I mean, we just got that 124. So, I mean, this has been a day, that is for sure. So, good move, man. We are now moments away until SpaceX earnings come and get that money, and we'll see if they get it or not. But there's the out there, and it happens all. We've done this trade a couple times on the show where things have reversed, and we've called that, and we just waited for it, and it happened out there. So there goes SpaceX right there at 355. We just saw it on there. There still was a small sell on SpaceX, but a 5 million. So we're going to see about a 6 million share print coming there right at the end of the day. 100 million so far on SpaceX. What's up, Adara?
Keep an eye on some defense plays. Here's RTX. You could look at LMT. You could look at KTOS. You could look at NOC. These defense plays in focus here. As CNN reports, the U.S. has exhausted nearly 80% of its interceptors here by the military for a key missile defense system. As senior military commanders in the U.S. are warning that the Pentagon's munitions stockpile is, quote, dangerously low. So concerns here about the stockpile. That could be potentially a good look for some defense names who are going to have to produce items to, I guess, make up for this loss. If I get any more details, I'll keep you posted, but keep an eye on some of these plays as we head into the bell. Just 4 minutes left of Power Hour.
Yes, sir. Just
Power Hour.
4 minutes left. Well, Power Hour, market up 3 1/3% hour.
Let's go.
Think about that. Even after we're pulling back a little bit here, we're actually 3.6% at the highs. In the NASDAQ anyways. The market, the ES, is actually 1.8 to the upside because it's been so much of the tech names. But let's be real. This doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter how great of a day it's been. The action is going to be right here. The volatility going into the close on SpaceX, 4 down, 4 up on this sucker. And AMD caught a little bit of a stray at 355 as well. That dropped about $4 or $5. It was ramping going into the close, but AMD catches a bit of a ramp job to the downside before their print. They're not till 4:15 on AMD, so it's the SpaceX show and whatever randoms decide that they want to come out with their earnings in between. I think we're pretty sure we're going to get Pinterest before we get AMD and a couple of other small ones, but it is going to be the SpaceX show. It's going to be the Elon Musk show, and the shorts, which there are plenty of them, they could get squeezed. At the end of the day, our poll it was much more interesting, at least, than the Palantir one. 37% of the viewers think SpaceX will move up more than 10%. 14% think we're looking at 0 to 10%, so a small up move. 22.5% red, less than 10%, and 26% saying red 10% or more. I think the important thing is that means you've got 2/3 of the viewers think it's going one way or another, 10%. And we don't have an expected, at least we couldn't find it, the expected move. But based on our viewership, it's certainly more than 10% is what we're looking for, either direction. No one thinks it's going to be inside double digits.
No, there it goes right now, 126 there. So, man, we got out, but it's okay. Yeah, we just we scalped out a bunch of EA there, man, just back and forth, like in and out, 81s, 80s, 81s, 80s, just a bunch of times. Those are all shorts. Those are all buys. We'll leave it alone now with only a minute and a half to go. But yeah, another good opportunity there on EA Sports. And, you know, you just got to take the 81s, get out the 80s just over and over and over again. So we do that a bunch of times there on EA Sports. And that was a good little trade there. So, all right, here we go, man. Moments away. We will wait for AMD to come through as well. Neil and I are going to turn around. AMD getting cranked into the close, back down big time right now for AMD, down $8 straight downside on AMD. All right, it's been a blast. I'll see you in a couple minutes. What a day for Palantir. Congratulations to everybody that is a Palantir shareholder. We'll turn around now and get ready for 4 p.m.
Let's go SpaceX.
Congrats, Palantir people. AMD and SpaceX both after the bell. We do not know what time SpaceX is expected to report, but very likely, based on the fact their earnings call is at 4:30 p.m., I would say 4 or 4:05. That is not a rule. You can report earnings at 4:10, 4:15, and still do your earnings call at 4:30. It's just very likely the numbers will come out before 4:30. I'm going to get these earnings previews out here so you guys can take a look at these ahead of these numbers that we're going to be getting here. So again, because we could get SpaceX first, I'll look at SpaceX first. But first, we're going to thank our friends at VinFast, VFS. We actually had the VP of investing here for their VinFast CEO, or VinFast USA, on the show with us today. So thank you very much to Amanda Bay. Thank you to VinFast. Thank you all for watching, and thank you to Elon Musk, maybe, if you're a SpaceX shareholder. Expecting losses of 26 cents per share, revenue of $6.72 billion. As I mentioned a couple times now, I'm not going to get into again, but investors, based on the questions they publicly submitted, they really seem to mostly care about things like mascots and naming ships and, you know, not necessarily things you'd expect them to be caring about. So interesting look there for SPCX here. And again, for AMD, which is expected to be released at 4:15, and I find generally to be pretty close to that time when it comes to its release. It's kind of like Nvidia that way. Revenue, $11.31 billion. Earnings, $162 per share. Expecting last quarter here, we had 38% year-over-year revenue growth. Data center revenue up 57% year-over-year. You're going to want to see continued data center revenue growth, I suspect, or things could get kind of rough here for AMD. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see here. Again, apparently Wayfair had its biggest one-day gain since 2020, so congrats, I guess, to that. I guess it had everything you need if you were bullish. But I do have to mention as well here, for what we're expecting, Amgen and Booking, neither of these massive earnings names, but Booking, I think, had that split recently, so that could make it more tradable. Theirs coming out at 4. At 4:05, you get the likes of Upstart, Lucid, I believe Pinterest. Definitely, you're going to be getting Open Door, A-Lab, A-Net, so tons of stuff here coming at 4:05, 4:15. Again, we're expecting AMD, SpaceX, who knows when. We have KTOS. Looks like they beat revenue, beat EPS. It's not a super massive report here, but we did have that defense news coming out a little bit before the closing bell, so it could be a good look. They did report an operating loss here, though, guys. I'm going to focus on looking for SpaceX and AMD earnings. But hello, Sean. Hello, Neil. You guys ready?
Well, we're ready.
No, we're not ready.
We don't know when. We don't know when the report is going to be for SpaceX. It's their first report, so
Fabian, put that thing below
they'll
us.
establish it for sure here tonight. I mean, there's some small ones that are coming out. Gilead's out. Amgen looks like they've just reported, but none of the big ones. And SpaceX is not really even moving around as if it's going to be anytime soon. Well, we're getting a little bit of a volume spike in SpaceX. It just broke the highs. There we go. It's breaking out now, so maybe we've got some SpaceX. I haven't seen it hit the wires yet, and it goes right back to 25. It's moving around a big time here. They're flashing it back and forth, so we're back down $2 here.
We'll get some numbers there. I mean, unless that was just a break there, got up to 128 right there, SpaceX. So, yeah, it's on the website. Yeah, go check it out. Right there, 127 says GME. It's on the, trust me, it's on the website.
It's always on the website.
There's 127, 128. That's been the most recent high right there, 128 coming for SpaceX. So, yeah, it's probably just a whisper number that got dropped there. But there it goes again, 128 stops again, back into 127. Thank you so much. What a surprise. SpaceX now out. It must have been on the website. Let's go back over to Adara.
Yeah, I mean, I confirm it still wasn't on the website. I don't have everything. I'm just seeing one account here share what their revenue was, which apparently was $7.8 billion. That's going to be well above estimates of anywhere from $6.68 to $6.72 billion. So it looks like a revenue beat. That is the only number I'm seeing. That's from Zero Hedge. So I'm not seeing that in the report yet either. If I see anything else, I will keep you guys posted. PSKY is out. But yeah, so SpaceX here, again, they did end up beating here in revenue. It looks like, yeah, Paramount Skydance is out. Apparently, they beat estimates. But here's SpaceX. Here's the number that we've all been waiting for here. Will SpaceX fly to the moon? Right now, it certainly is. You have, with SpaceX, a smaller than expected loss per share, 9-cent loss per share versus I was seeing estimates of around 25. Looks like they were seeing 24 cents. So that's still going to be a beat. EPS beat. Sales also a beat, 7.8 million, as we mentioned, versus anywhere from 6.68 to 6.9 billion expected. So good beat for SpaceX, now giving back some of this move to the upside. Adjusted EBITDA here, 3.5 billion. Operating loss, $1.3 billion here for SpaceX. As I see more, I will keep you posted, but I'll send you guys over to react to this sport here. SpaceX hits the moon and then comes back to Earth.
Moon, I mean, 131 is like, that's not that high. Obviously, it was already doing a bit of a job today to get to the upside, but that's like the most recent local resistance was at the 130 to 131 area. So the fact that it curled there, it's still a good beat. I mean, that's a very sizable beat on revenue. You're not getting extra billion on revenue. That was a 15% beat on revenue. The EPS beat, it wasn't quite swinging a surprise profit. I think a surprise profit would have hopefully the shorts had the brown pants if it did that, but it ends up only being 9 cents of a loss, which is not as crazy as you would think, but it's not getting the bounce. I think if it had been like even 1 cent of profitability, that probably would have done it, cascading through that 130.
I mean, I think now we gotta worry about like when that lockup hits, and will owners of this stock sell it in tranches as we move forward. Right now, I mean, we always were just kidding around, like, is the stock actually going to move on these earnings? And as we look now, it's actually right where it is where it closed. Again, now it's back to 123 on SpaceX. So not a huge market moving event, but it has moved SpaceX up and down now $6. It was, like Neil said, 131. I guess the high now back in about $10 there from SpaceX. You could see the NASDAQ is doing absolutely.
You want a number here?
Right now.
Their AI segment operation loss was 1.26 billion. They were estimating 2.4.
Okay, so
it lost less than half.
Yeah,
I mean, that sounds good. I don't know. That sounds good to me.
The XAI is an interesting wrap up. What's going on there?
I have a whole bunch of other stuff on SpaceX here, guys. So CapEx, 18.37 billion. That's going to be below estimates of 18.58 billion. Now, for most companies lately, than expected CapEx, that actually could be a good thing. But for SpaceX, I don't know. This could be kind of a mixed look here. Adjusted EBITDA, 3.5 billion. That's going to be above estimates of 2 billion. You also had here apparently 12 million Starlink subscribers at the end of Q2. Adjusted or AI segment operating loss, we already talked about this. I put it on the screen as well, but 1.26 billion. That's going to be well below estimates of a $2.39 billion loss. Again, we did beat on EPS, smaller than expected loss per share. We also beat on revenue. Revenue apparently up 92% year over year. Cash and marketable securities, $100 billion. Backlog, $47.5 billion. So as we might expect from an Elon Musk company, monstrous report that's kind of all over the place. Expect lots of infographics on SPCX coming out here tomorrow. Trying to see if we get anything from Open Door or anything. But right now, seeing SpaceX, seeing Wynn Resorts. I don't know if that was a win or a loss, but it looks like it's up right now. But yeah, guys, SpaceX, again, backlog pretty significant here. That was $47.5 billion.
Yeah, the only time 92% is going to be bad is if you're battling Fahad in a free throw shooting contest. Right, otherwise, other than 92% looks fantastic.
Yeah, you'll lose on Fahad on that one. You also notice here that AMD is moving around a little bit. It's not, nothing's been out. I don't think it's out yet, but there's AMD shooting the moon right now, 520 into 530. Advanced micro devices starting to cook up a little bit here. So we'll wait to see if they're going to be coming out with their report, hopefully a little early right now, but it is SpaceX starting to go. AMGN, we had AMZN, I got the lights in my way there. 395 and change, they're out with their report. Not much going on there. So I guess the story just remains the same, man. We're just going to be talking all about SpaceX there tomorrow. CapEx of 18 billion. So, XAI is still a thing over there. CapEx going to be a little bit of a spend there as they look.
But there's so much less than the hyperscalers on CapEx.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I don't really know what that number should look like for them. But 127 and change right now for SpaceX. Kind of a muted report, but we'll take it right now. You can see on the chart, we do close right away at 4 p.m. at basically 125. You're at 126 right now. We've seen bigger moves just middle of the day for no reason. But SpaceX, more information coming. What's up?
Yeah, I don't have anything on SpaceX right now. I'll quickly go over Open Door because a bit of a move here. I mean, you've got revenue growth on a sequential basis, contribution profit up 59% quarter over quarter. Homes purchased is up 77% quarter over quarter and 149% year over year. Certainly better than what they did last quarter, just off the top of my head. Inventory health improving 27% year over year. Nothing massive here for Open Door, but this stock is right now, closing the door to the downside here. Seeing booking holdings as well. Again, guys, nothing really massive at this point. We're just waiting for AMD, but I thought I'd provide a bit of an update there for OPEN. Right now, we're going to close that chapter as we continue to wait on Advanced Micro Devices and Miss Lisa Su.
I mean, you can't leave your mortgage if you got a 3 in the States.
I can't believe that. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, like anybody that with those, you should have just locked in when
it's crazy where rates are right now.
Down to nothing there. And I don't know. Around here, we can't hold mortgages more than 5 years. So you always have to readjust.
That's a depressing chart to look at. Let's look at good charts. But SpaceX, to your point there, we're still at 125. We're not getting a heck of a lot of reaction. Like the viewership, we put the poll up and it was 2/3 of the viewers thought one way or another we're at double digits. And keep in mind, it was already up significantly, up 9 to 10% going into the close. So if anything, we're down like a point and a half. We've been up 2, 3 on SpaceX. I think the story here is it's big time revenue growth, but it's a mixed shield. It's mixed because you're still losing money, right? It may have been much wider losses. That AI loss was almost
the Starlink number was under also.
They missed on Starlink.
Yeah, they missed on Starlink, which
so it's very mixed.
Yeah, 12 million versus 12.2, so it's not huge. I just want to show you guys like a name here, Caterpillar, right? So this name, was up, double digits, closes at 876. And this is not really at 882. It really is back down into here. So watch out for something like this to happen potentially on SpaceX, where you get up huge and then the fall back in comes through. It's not that it was down huge. I just wanted to. It's up on the board there on our sheet. I just wanted to show you guys that nothing's really going on there. But yeah, if you look at what we could expect from SpaceX, this is a daily chart. So we did touch out at the 50-period moving average. We now do have 50 periods, 50 days worth of data. It's still not going to be super accurate, but we're going to watch out for that. And then this 108, like I could see tomorrow morning, again, like people getting a little nervous. Okay, those are the numbers. That's nice. And then the sell-off just hits SpaceX tomorrow morning. Plus, we have the call. I mean, I'm assuming Elon's going to be on that call. And when he's talking, who knows what's going to come out of that mouth. We already talked about some of the questions that are going to come through for SpaceX. And I think the big one is, what are we looking at Starlink? Can we explain that CapEx number? And then, great on the beat there for revenues. Where did that money come from? What does it look like moving forward? Because we didn't get a guide, right, Adara? There was no, yeah. Yeah, so no guide yet for SpaceX. So I don't know what we're going to base next quarter's numbers on. Analysts will come out. And the thing is, it's still valued right now at $1.3 trillion.
Yeah, it's still pretty big.
For a company that loses $1 billion a quarter, that seems a little expensive there to pay up for that. But SpaceX, of course, you're paying for the future, apparently, which is looking more and more bright for them because their EPS is less than expected.
Yeah, but I think the other thing it's weighing on is like you still are getting like the memory names, they're churning cash, and they're still so far off the highs. Like there's choices out there on the dips that might take this muted earnings and sell it off a little bit here. Yeah, it's lower, down into 122. We're still continuing to go
up right now.
down. I don't know if it's going to be able to hold that bid tomorrow. Well, obviously the call is a big deal. Elon can be a bit of a wizard, right? So at the end of the day, I wouldn't put anything past it, but I'm not feeling overly optimistic here, especially when you consider just how much of a mixed bag this is. Again, AMD's not for another couple of minutes. I think somebody just fat fingered or got a little excited on AMD after SpaceX came out, and it briefly broke the high. But we're still a couple of minutes away from Advanced Micro Devices. Like there's another name, like 8 points after Intel's quarter. You got to expect that this is going to be a strong one coming out of AMD. I would be surprised if they didn't have beats across the board and then a strong guide there. We know GPU's been absolutely a rocket ship. Like Intel had a big Q, and their GPU growth wasn't even as good as Nvidia, so I'm expecting some big news here from AMD. Go ahead.
I just read that SpaceX holds 18,700 Bitcoins. So we'll find out what's up with that. 18,700 Bitcoin? Interesting. What's going on, Adara? Sia?
I don't know they held them. Tesla, but
that's what Zero had said. SpaceX held 18,000. You're muted, I believe. You are muted, I believe. Right there.
I'm back.
There we go. Okay.
Thank you so much for that. No, just wanted to mention UPST also just reported nothing too insane here, but there is a bit pretty significant uptick here. Revenue came in at $365 million. Estimated number was $352 million. So it is up 42% year over year. EPS is at 16 cents, 220% upside year over year. Net income is at $16.5 million. Estimated was $56.2 million. So that is number over there. Adjusted EBITDA at $76.9 million. Estimated was $64.8 million. But Upstart, UPST currently up 3%. Another thing I wanted to just mention briefly about SpaceX was that I was looking at the analysts that were expecting the three numbers from the three segments, space, connectivity, and AI, and it did seem to beat on all three of them. So not the worst thing here. Space estimate was $835 million. Original came in at $962 million. Connectivity was $3.83 billion, and it came out at $4.29 billion. And AI was $2.18 billion, and it came out at $2.56 billion. So not a bad look for at least the three sectors over there.
Don't say it's a nothing burger on Upstart.
I never said a nothing burger. I didn't.
Don't sleep on them. 31% short float. 31% short float. So when this stock wants to squeeze, oh, it can go. So it's important to remember, like it's a trading show. Like outside of SpaceX and obviously AMD, Upstart's going to be near the top of the list for some continuation tomorrow. At least I would think so. We're less than a minute to go until we think we're going to get some AMD. But look where Upstart is. It's got a major breakout potential through 35, the 200-period moving averages. Those will be big ones. But hey, it's the big two that we care the most about. So as much as this is up 14% and is looking good, we should be moments away here. We're like Lucid. Seconds away from AMD. Yeah. Lucid, how much is it tanking?
No, it's not really doing too much there, Lucid. Down a little bit. Lucid misses on revenue, 405 versus 416, EPS 278 to the negative versus 246. AMD's getting crushed. Let's go back over to Adara.
Just loading here, and it's actually right up here so I can show you guys. We can go through the report live. AMD, Q2 revenue, $11.5 billion here. We were expecting $11.31 billion, so we actually beat here at AMD revenue. Gross margin, 54%. Operating income, $2 billion. Net income, $2.3 billion. Diluted EPS, $1.38 per share. We were expecting $1.62, so it looks like they might have missed here in EPS. But again, guys, sometimes estimates vary. Just be aware. We had 50% year-over-year revenue growth. You've got gross margin up 14 percentage points, not basis points, percentage points, from 54% this quarter. Year over year last year was 40%. So big growth here for gross margin, growth for revenue, operating expenses also increasing. So, expenses growing, that's never a great look. Let's talk about the data center segment growth. Last quarter was 57% to the upside year over year. This quarter, data center segment revenue grows by 107% year over year to $6.7 billion. Client and gaming segment revenue up 6% year over year. So not a decline, pretty good look there. Embedded segment revenue up 19% year over year. That is all three of their revenue categories. They are all up year over year. Guidance here, outlook expecting Q3 revenue of $13 billion plus or minus $300 million. You've got here midpoint of the revenue range representing 41% year over year growth. It could be a slowdown in revenue growth. I'm not seeing anything on CapEx, guys. Only guidance I'm seeing is that revenue.
I saw CapEx $808 million.
It is a ridiculous
versus
number.
$808 million CapEx versus $298 million. So that is a massive increase in CapEx, and the margins are flat. 26.9 to 27, so it's a 0.1 increase in margins and almost a 3x increase in CapEx.
I know my guy Sharif was trying to buy some of this. I hope he didn't.
No, but that's the reason. It's a CapEx number, man.
I guess so. This is a monster move down, like 525 into 465. We're almost all the way back to some of those lows again. 450. We'll see if that can come back into play here. And your boy is getting crushed too. None of us. We all have Intel anyways, I think. But Intel downside play there. I want to buy some Intel on this weakness.
It's not that
bad. No, it's not that bad. It was just at 103 or 102 down to 99, 98 bucks. And of course, if it's going to be a CapEx problem, it's not an Intel situation.
Oh, what happened to SpaceX just
right there, no idea. But right now, AMD getting rinsed downside right now, 470. And SpaceX, I just heard.
Just hit 114.
Well. Yeah, so there it goes, man. The selling is now in on SpaceX. Nice downside play there. SPCX now back down to flat all of a sudden right there. So, yeah, man, we close at 125. We go up almost 10 bucks, down 10 bucks right now on SpaceX. So not a great movement there. Look at the NASDAQ at the bottom left right here, making that move down as well. So, yeah, pretty brutal here earnings day in general, I would say. You know, we can look to see, okay, let's just see if the big dog is moving on this. I assume NVIDIA is probably not, and there it is, 211, NVIDIA doing absolutely nothing right now. Yeah, we want to say a big shout out to everybody there. Thank you for all of the super chats today. Thank you to Jesse Martinez. We have the Blicky Spears is right there. SpaceX, ooh, freshly rolled ice something, said $98. There it is, freshly rolled ice cream, $98 by tomorrow open. Look, I wouldn't be surprised if SpaceX really hits the rocks there. And
that 100 test is a big level, man.
Gets down to the downside.
Our low is 10.
The lowest I said anybody, the lowest I ever heard was 80, and I think people just throwing.
Oh, I mean the low since the IPO.
Yeah,
it broke 5.
Yeah, maybe 105.
105, maybe.
Like that.
Come to me, please.
Or the low. Okay, we'll get Adair, and then we'll wrap this thing up. What's up, Adair?
Yeah, I just want to clarify quickly that CapEx for AMD, it wasn't guidance, it was their CapEx for Q2, because I didn't see anybody posting about it. I control F my way through the report. So this was their CapEx for this quarter. Again, it is well above estimates, but that was the deal there with the CapEx. It wasn't guidance. This is just what they had this quarter. Again, CapEx was just under 4x what we were expecting here. So that's the issue with CapEx, but at least it's something we have to worry about going forward. It's just what we had this quarter. Now, the concern, again, will be also if we continue to see this CapEx issue in Q3 2026, which is the current quarter for AMD. But yeah, again, this is already reported. This is not Outlook. I just want to clarify for the CapEx because I was unclear, and that's the deal. They're also expecting sales growth in their already very strong data center revenue segment and to accelerate in the second half of 2026. So for context, 57% year-over-year growth for Q1, 107% year-over-year growth for Q2. If they want that to accelerate, this could be a massive look here for data center growth for AMD in the second half of the year.
Speed to the person that loaded up at 115. Someone parked the big order at 115 and got filled. And making time. I mean, it's bouncing now, so they're up a couple of bucks. I don't know. Like it can be anything because when you see a big bid, it could be short covering for all I know. But there was a buyer that just held 115. I suppose that'll obviously be a level to work at. And then thank you in the chat. Sort of confirming that low. The 105 is going to be the first key test, obviously, because everything is all-time lows, and we just hit that earlier this week. But yeah, the capex on AMD, that's not a story. That's not what you wanted to hear. SpaceX was always going to be challenging because no one really expected that. You knew they weren't making money, and again, it's a pretty hefty valuation.
Yeah.
AMD, man, that spend kind of came out of nowhere.
So I think we're comfortable now. I mean, 118 on SpaceX looks like it wants to try to hold that a little bit, trying to bounce off of that 115. We'll get a good look there. AMD was the other one, and then we'll get out of here. Just give you guys a quick couple looks there. AMD 497, 479. So a good bounce off 465, and that's why we highlighted some of those levels. We actually got down to 450 the last little while. That very low is 420. I don't think we see 430 or anything on AMD. I mean, everything seems to be fine. Their guide was good, everything. I just think that CapEx number took people by surprise there. So, we're going to have to wait and see if they justify some of those recent moves there in AMD. But it's been a good one. Yeah. Thank you for staying late. Anything else to wrap this up, Adara? Anything caught your eye, really?
I'm good, guys. Thank you all for checking this out on XGTV Research. We got really good engagement on these AMD infographics. So much appreciated, and expect more AMD infographics ahead of the open of the Blue Ocean tonight. I'm already done one.
Ooh, there you go.
Okay, great. See ya. Thank you for staying late with us. Thanks, Neil. And thanks, Joe, who's in the chat there typing away to everybody. So, all right, we will hope. There he is, Joe. What's up? There he is right there.
Shades indoors.
Right now, yeah, shades going on there. Some shade getting thrown at some of these earnings.
A little bit.
There today. But, hey, after the NASDAQ being up over 3% today, still up 3%. As we close out the show, 3.14%.
S&P all-time high.
Yeah, S&P all-time highs, Dow Jones all-time highs, and NASDAQ now, although we got that question yesterday about the Qs, the NASDAQ now moments away. We got that question yesterday. 725, I think it was by December or something like that. There it is. How about today? 725 was hit on your NASDAQ. So moments away from taking out all-time highs over there on NASDAQ as well. So, all right, there it is, man. It's getting late on us here. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We'll see everybody tomorrow. That's Neil, Adara, see ya. I'm Sean. We'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Hit the like and subscribe now.
Thanks, DJ Vinny, for the super chat. We got you.
Did we get a DJ Vinny?